Like our whole jobs.
Hello everyone and welcome to the QT.
What up, everybody?
When you're trying
The
to
cameras are right.
Yeah, the cameras
Dude,
are right.
And
And
I think
gosh.
you need to wait till the last second every time.
Oh no. Well, see,
You work well under pressure.
The thing is I also
Forgot.
I realized that because Elf is in a new setup for this this time. Like, Elf was, like, just an eye, so I was, like, frantically trying to readjust the window, and I was like, oh god, no.
That's fantastic.
That should be me, if anything, surely.
Just one beautiful elf eye.
You know, it's all you need. It's all you need, really.
Yeah.
Like, it's the full. You get the full experience from just
Exactly.
the eye. I mean, other than this show, I VTuber everything else. So, like, you know.
Yeah.
The true test of an actress is, can you just
One eye.
just smile, I guess.
Give everything through the eyes.
Yeah.
Hello everyone and welcome to the QT. This is episode number 7.
Wow.
Yeah. And
Doesn't feel like it's been 7 episodes.
Oh, it
No,
doesn't.
it really doesn't.
it feels like it's consecutively been both like 2 or 3 and also 20.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's enough information, definitely, for 20. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had to start a new notebook. I don't know if I
Oh,
told you that.
shit.
Feeling a little bit.
Notebook
tired,
numero dos.
but,
That's sick.
You know. Oh, can switch over that. Yeah. No. This is the Wandering Inn. Did I say that? I don't think so.
No.
Skip that bit.
I think I said the episode, and that's about it. And then, if you like the shows that we make, we just finished Dragon Riders season 2, and later this year, hopefully, we'll see about a season 3, which will be
Check out the
Dun, dun,
Patreon.
dun.
yes.
That all depends on the Patreon.
So, currently we have a Patreon, and the Patreon funds the cast pay, and if there's any left over, which there never is, the overlays and the art and all that type of stuff. If you would like to see more from the channel, first thing you should do is go check out the Patreon, think about pledging. You can pledge for as little as like $3 a month. It's cheaper than a Twitch sub, and probably more useful.
Probably that's being unkind.
Definitely
Much
more useful than a Twitch sub to me.
Definitely.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
Also, the full $3 or close enough goes to the Patreon and not half to Twitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Facts. And
So-
this bitch over here insists on paying us. So
If you're considering subbing, also consider checking out Patreon. There's also some benefits to it, and I have plans for a couple of shows that will have some interesting viewer interaction. So, patrons obviously will get in that. Also, you get access to some insights with me. When we do community nights and stuff, I sometimes talk about the shows I have ideas for, and I ask the patrons to help me with it. Sometimes we do a little world building, sometimes you create some characters. For example, 4 characters in Dragon Riders. They didn't appear really much, only one of them did completely, but 4 of the characters in Dragon Riders were Patreon created. And I slipped them in seamlessly, and they all complained. Well, one of them complained about how I, not actually, but slightly how I portrayed the character.
A little bit, yeah.
But yeah.
How dare you?
That's
Yeah.
so that's so. I don't want to say depressing, but like you kind of like.
No, it was the character was created towards the beginning of Dragon Riders, and a lot of stuff happened before the character showed up. So, I mean, Katie knows what happened at the end of season 1 of Dragon Riders. So, like, there was a bit of a shake-up in some things.
I don't like that
I
smile.
know nothing about 2 yet though. I'm binging it. I'm excited and nervous.
So yeah, Patreon, if you are interested, there's a Twitter. I was going to say Twitch, but this is where we are. There is a Twitch. We're here.
That is correct. There is a Twitch. We
there's
are
a
here
Twitch.
right now. If you're not following, follow.
Yeah, but there's a Twitter. Go check that out if you want notifications. I always tweet when we go live with a show, and sometimes I do like little teasers and stuff on there. But usually,
Sometimes we remember to retweet as well.
Yeah. And that.
Seriously, I've forgotten.
Seriously, I got you. And there is a Discord channel. Discord channel is the best place currently for information and for just notifications when we go live and stuff like that. As a sidebar, I don't want to put too much pressure on it, but there is a website being made. So you essentially
Oh shit.
much easier than Twitch or YouTube or even Discord. You'll be able to go there and look at all the shows that there are and click on them and see who the cast are and see a little detail about the show, and then you can click on it, watch the playlist on YouTube, etc, etc. Make it a lot easier for people to find things, because sometimes people are like, Sheepy, you did a VTM campaign and it's 80 episodes long? And I'm like, yes I did. I don't know.
Surprise!
Why would you do that to yourself? I mean, great. I mean, really good.
Elf,
It's over now. It can't hurt me anymore.
Memories still sting though.
Imagine using the World of
One
Darkness
tier.
rule set for anything. Jesus.
Hey, like, you know me. Like,
I do unfortunately know you, yeah.
I barely use the World of Darkness rule sets.
See, that's why I think you should do Call of Cthulhu, because you wouldn't use the system, and then the horrible system can hurt you.
I have an idea for a Call of Cthulhu game, but it's only half a Call of Cthulhu game.
So it's a call up.
Hey, Sheepy, maybe sometime we could play a City of Mist campaign.
Oh, that would be cool.
That would be sick. Maybe like loosely based on that rule set. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, like use City of Mist and then just not use the setting.
Well,
yeah.
Do you know what's funny? Is not only are we doing that right now, I also have another idea for a City of Mist game where I don't really use City of Mist.
You know,
Like,
You have to,
color
no,
me
but
shocked.
so the thing is, you have to not use the other half next time. So like, keep all the lore and the
But
setting,
just none of the roles.
don't- then play Monster Hearts in
Yeah.
it. You know what I mean? Like,
This isn't City of Mist. This is our own private spin-off called Fog Town.
Welcome to.
it's like the it's the serial numbers filed off like Avongers.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's the one.
Similar to, but legally distinct from.
Yeah.
Has anyone seen the Korean series Sweet Home?
Yes.
Yes.
That's the idea I have for a
Oh
City
my
of
God.
Mist, where you everyone would start in like a typical mall apocalyptical scenario, and then obviously the flips, the different sides of human and supernatural type entities would be like GM controlled and almost. And
Dude.
yeah, I have an idea for that. Which would
Sheepy,
be,
stop pitching. We've got a game to play.
That series was so fucking good, though. Damn.
aside from a few little bits here and there, and also the special effects were kind of janky at best. But
Rubbish.
Kinda like
it was such a good show that I was like, you know what? I don't care if this giant guy who looks like a tank from Left 4 Dead looks a little bit unreal.
No.
He did. He did. And but then again, sometimes you get a really cool floaty eye thing that is creepy as fuck.
Exactly, and that's where you see where they blew their budget.
Yeah. Just literally one eye.
Just an eye. Oh my God. we've
only
come
a
full
single,
circle.
only a single eye. That's all you need.
For the live adaptation of the QT, all of our budget's gonna go on William's eye.
Yeah. Yeah.
I approve of this.
So yeah,
I approve of this.
for the sake of the upcoming QT live action remake, you're going to have to let the eye come out as little as possible for the
Yeah, exactly.
sound.
I'm sorry, we can't have you manifest your power anymore. We don't have the budget.
We don't have the
budget
budget.
for it.
You have to manifest it off screen, okay?
Yeah.
Like,
I love the idea of, hey LSD, we need you to get pink eye because we can't really afford the makeup anymore.
Instead, we just hire someone to fart on your pillow every night.
Yeah.
I
Hire
know
someone, then you
the
gotta
people
pay 'em.
do that for free. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
True on that.
you know, anyone who watched like Buffy or something in the past, you know, when a character intros the recap, you know, it's like previously.
Oh
on-
yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Previously on the QT.
George sits up out of a dead sleep.
what the fuck? Last time on the QT, we met the Puka, and surprisingly, negotiated with the Puka. George, to some hesitation from especially Cecilia, who was like, "This is an animal because I'm in denial."
It's not just a river in Egypt, you
Yeah.
know.
You see that talking lemur thing, rabbit looking cat thing up in the tree. It's an animal, clearly.
It must be.
Speaking
It's
English.
cool.
Yeah. But George made a deal. Made a deal basically saying that I will feed you, and then stop peeing on people's houses.
A good deal.
That sounds like George is gonna stop peeing on people's houses.
I'll feed you and stop peeing on people's houses. What can you ask for? The Puka eventually agreed and followed George home. Additionally, meeting the Gravekeeper again, they found out that he was a dog, possibly?
Yeah, dog man.
Dog,
Something like that, yeah.
man? And he pissed off William enough that William's eye popped out for a bit. William realized that he could...
No, he slapped William upside the head
Yeah.
a few
Yeah,
times. Is
A
what
few
happened.
times.
Pissed off, yes, but yeah, but a little bit more forceful than that.
Yeah. Don't ask old people to do things, man. They're fucking savages. And William realized that he could see residue resonance of supernatural things. He could kind of see people, what they were, or like kind of indications of what they could be, maybe. I believe we got a little bit of a look at the other characters. And everyone said, "Okay, cool, job done." Went back to their everydays. Had a night. I think almost everyone had a night, as it were, and went to school the next day. None of them really talked to each other, and none of them, aside from
I yelled at Mr. Ashford for a bit. Yeah.
Tori went to go yell at Mr. Ashford, but also was the only one who reported in and said, "Hey, we did the thing."
You know, why are there 4 people in a show when you can just do it on your own, you know?
I was like, you know,
I feel like that's Tori's motto in life, though. That's
Tori's
Probably
motto
good.
is have goons, but don't rely on them. Okay.
I was actually talking about all of us not talking to each other, but
Yeah.
you know that also
Oh.
works.
Yeah.
Hey,
I think
mean,
I
right.
tried and no one would make eye contact.
Yeah,
with me.
George was trying
Yeah.
to, and we
I
were all
was
like, no.
desperate.
George was like, "Anyone want to talk?" And everyone's like,
Well,
Yeah,
I
'cause
got
on-
told not to. Will got told not to.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
cool.
I'm so
Yeah.
excited to see how that'll work out now.
My
Yeah,
bad.
that was another thing. Do we want to recap people on that one?
Yeah.
The
Tori
accidental
has
mind
robbed
fuck?
Will of his only friend.
"Well,
Yeah.
not really."
I accidentally compelled Will to be careful of George.
Yes. Tori said, "Be careful of George," and forgot for a moment about the power that
Goddamn
she possesses.
Goddamn imperatives.
And
Goddamn.
she felt that power manifest and essentially influenced William to be cautious of George. I would say, going forward, it's down to you how to interpret that exactly. I would say it doesn't cancel out the friendship or what's been built. I would just say there's a little bit of a kind of suspicion, maybe. Or not fear, but caution, definitely. And finally, William decided to investigate his friends at the chess club and see if any of them were weird.
Yeah.
They weren't, but the library was. There's like a
Yes.
weird mist around the library.
It's
In a
city
book,
of
right?
Madonna.
Wasn't there a weird book that your
Yeah,
friend
there was a
had?
witch book.
There was
one
a-
of the,
A weird, like, purpley, pulsy
I
book.
can't remember her name.
It was your
Bridget's.
friend's though,
Bridget.
right?
Yeah.
Like in her pile of books or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, it
Yep.
was Bridget's book.
And she was kind of like, "Hey, you don't want to read that? That's not for you."
I think I'm pretty sure you said like, "Whose is this?" And she's like, "It's mine."
No, I didn't say whose is this. I held this up. I held it up and said, "Is this any good?" And she
Oh.
said, "It probably wouldn't interest you."
Yeah.
In a kind of a put that down, please.
Sure.
Which is rude because you asked about
I
it. It's
believe
obviously
the
interested
leading
you.
question, before that was, do you know anything about Wicca? It wouldn't interest you then because
Yeah.
you don't.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
no, that's
yeah,
true.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
true. That is true. She did say that.
And then we had a little outro scene of the librarian shuffling through, and essentially lots of like little dusty grey kind of aura, I guess we'll call it, like being disseminated by her.
Yeah, she's a
The
clicker.
librarian.
She's a click.
Ugh. Let's hope that we don't have
I
Delightful.
any
don't
of
want that. I already had a weird tongue touch me. I'm out.
Ah.
I got my fill.
Oh yeah, no, sorry,
What?
I thought you were just talking about today.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, that's my fault.
No, but I did
forgot
remember
about
one
the,
thing we
about the
forgot.
lunch lady.
Oh, what did we forget?
Oh no. The puka can see milk toast. I just read that. That
Milk-
was my last note.
milk
The milk
breads.
toast. Puka can tell who's got powers.
Milk bread,
That-
right?
Bread.
That
Yeah,
was
milk bread.
that was one of the worst lore drops I've ever done in my life.
Yeah.
But that was the Puka's fault.
Yeah,
'cause,
the milk bread action
Best
was
thing ever.
It's a good simile.
I loved it.
for a puka. It makes sense that would be the thing you would say.
Absolutely. And
I'm
it makes
very
sense
much
to a
into bread
teenager.
and milk.
Yeah. And then there's like just milk people.
Yeah.
So, where we left off last episode, was with that scene. Essentially, school is out for the day. So you have your afternoon activities, you have your evenings, you have your
Yes,
morning. Like it's essentially just going on. With that in mind, there's a couple of people that have essentially, I'll say, Cecilia, you have something to do. Tori, you have something that will be going on.
Oh, okay.
Well,
I'm just gonna be ambushed by something. Gotcha.
I'm
Gotcha.
gonna
Hell
have-
yeah.
Bertrand Gray is waiting outside the school.
I'm prime.
Turn gray.
Ah, Bertrand Gray.
Bitch, I got a monkey under my bed. You want to fight?
More of a lemur, I'd say, but
Yeah. I don't really know how. It's a.
it's a thing.
It's a
What do we
puka.
call
It's
it?
a-
Milky?
It's a
Milka.
puka.
Milka. Yeah, Milka. It's a Milka.
So I'll start off by just asking William and George if there's anything that you'll be doing after school. Essentially, for George, I would say most likely Joel is about. If you want to, he'll pretty much say, do you want to go and hang at the skate park and etc. But if you have anything else you want to pay attention to, or anything else you want to follow up on, any of the other people, anything really.
I think after the morning of being like so blatantly ignored, she probably will just try to go back to the most normal possible. And
Okay.
because if no one's gonna talk to her, she's not. Didn't know what to do.
I mean, Tori made it pretty clear. I feel like when we talked that it was like at school, I'm,
Yeah.
I can't do that. So if you look for her after, you might be able to I'm just saying, if you have something you want to say, she's.
What if Joel and George are chilling in the bleachers at swim practice? Just that top corner with their hoodies, just kind of giggling, looking at something, but really she's waiting.
Yeah.
Try to catch you outside or something, because she totally would. She desperately wants to at least tell people about this puka thing, that it's actually living in her bed and stuff. That's beyond crazy.
Okay. So
Yes, sorry, that was long-winded.
No, that's good. So Tori, you have your swim, another swim practice, and again, I won't make you roll on this one because we've got a base standard of where you're at, which is much better than everyone else. And I would say probably you do some laps and you do some things, and then you jump out and just kind of encourage other people, maybe help a couple of the less talented, This is actually a good
Gotta
question.
shore up your weaknesses.
How how committed to captain role is Tori currently?
I think it's important to her.
Yeah.
I think that she wanted it before all this crazy shit happened, and that hasn't changed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and also like, the longer she's here working with these other girls and just like sorting stuff out, swim practice wise, the less she has to deal with weirdness. You know what I mean? It's like a safe haven almost.
Okay.
So she's like, you know, fully committed. She's giving it her full attention, I would say.
One more question. Is she a little bit more harsh with anyone purely because she's pissed off after the whole
Actually, she's being very careful not to be pissed off because the last time she was impassioned about things, she made William cautious of George.
That is true.
By accident. I don't want to yell that they should swim faster and then have their skin strip off as they try. You know what I mean? Like, that would be bad.
I love the idea of Tori yelling at someone at a tournament to go faster, and then implying that everyone should go faster, and that everyone who's competing is actually putting in an extra 10%.
So it's more like encouragement than it is like order, if you know what I mean. It's actually a little less strict than you'd expect from Tori, I would say, generally.
In that case, could you roll me a convince, please?
Oh,
Convince.
Shit rolls.
I would say, just looking through your tags,
Mm.
both performance, attention grabbing, popularity,
Yeah, there's quite a few good tags here.
Who are you,
swimming.
and what have you done to Sheepy?
I know.
Rolls
right.
and stuff.
All right, we'll do that. You want me to roll a convince?
Yeah,
All right.
just to see how you do to begin with, as starting off as captain, and
I clicked it, but nothing happened. Hang
oh,
on.
it's gone through. Yeah.
Oh, there. Yeah, there it is.
You
9
got
success.
a 9. Okay.
It would have been a failure without my tags.
Yeah.
Thankfully.
damn.
So, still getting into the role and everything, but again, you are used to a certain degree leading people. I would say any slight negatives to kind of being a captain and encouraging people are pretty minimal. The majority of what you're doing is on point and good. You've been on swim team for a while. It makes sense that, you know, maybe you're a little bit too cautious with your wording, and
It's not as direct as it could be.
it's not
right?
as direct.
Like,
yeah. It's not like that captain who's like, you know, motivating and like, come on, let's do this one more. It's, you know, like you're worried about being like, you know, come on, work till you drop. You know, like that could be a problem. But
Slaughter the competition.
Oh god.
Oh my god.
you do a decent job of helping a few of the stragglers, kind of with their technique, with how they're doing these things. So
Okay, great.
the other
The
next
team
part,
is stronger for my efforts. I love it.
yeah. The other next part is something I can't speak on yet because I'm not sure how it's gonna go.
Okay.
So, George,
Sheepy.
I want to ask if Tori notices George, but I'm not sure how loud George and Joel are being. So this is what we need to find
I mean,
out.
nobody sits around in the stands during practice,
Oh,
right?
they do
left-
because
okay, all
Tori's
right.
there, isn't she? So
that's fair.
I love the
guess.
idea of a two-man Mexican wave going, hey! Hey!
I'm probably trying to be quiet, but I imagine Joel probably lets like a big dumb laugh out that echoes all over this very empty.
well,
You know?
so as you're sitting there and watching the swim team practice, and both you and Joel aren't super intrigued by the swim team or their swimming.
Or are you?
Oh, we'll see. Joel like is kind of like leaning forward a little bit, quite lazily, and like looks over to you and says, "So, why are we here instead of outside? Because usually we hang out under the bleachers outside."
Yeah, you can't smoke here.
Thinking about joining the swim team.
No, you're not.
How do you know? Shut up. Yes, I am. I could swim.
Yeah?
Yeah.
When did you go swimming?
Shut up, you stupid. I swim. It's cold out. Why are you asking questions? You don't think this much normally.
Well, we're not outside.
Do you need to be out? Do you need to go potty?
I... Why would I go outside for that? They have indoor facilities.
I love you, man, but you're dim as hell. Do you need to go outside? Do you need to go outside?
No, I'm perfectly fine being here. It's just, it's strange, you know? Like, you've been strange, you know? Like, you've been weird. You know?
I mean, it's just like shit at home has been weird, you know?
Yeah.
It's not a big deal.
Your mom okay?
I wouldn't know.
Oh.
Bro, you're drooling.
No? Oh, this side, yeah. No, yeah. Okay. It's fine.
Sick, bro.
I feel like they're not super loud.
Not at this point, no.
Doesn't sound
No.
like they're being particularly boisterous. No.
No, it's just like dumbass conversation. I want to take out like my pack of Sharpies or markers or something and tell him to do some art on a bleacher.
Okay.
Give him something to occupy the child's mind.
Yes.
Yeah. Get them working
He
on
needs
something.
a coloring book.
And he gets a red. I love reds. And
I'll reach in my bag. Oh, bro, I got 2.
2 reds.
Joel-
Awesome.
Joel seems like the kind of guy who like actually the art is really good. You know what I mean?
Oh, I
Like,
bet it really
yeah.
is. Oh, yeah. He's probably one of those dudes who grew up like copying comics, so can just like,
Yeah.
not recreate them really easily. Yeah, definitely. But if he takes the bait and starts doing something, I'm gonna mumble something like, I think I forgot something in the locker room or something like, oh, I can't find my. And just like before he can notice, I'm just
Just
gonna
ditching
kinda
him.
mumble down.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as you stand up and like walk away, he's like there and he's scribbling, and it's got kind of like a kind of like skull little motif type thing. Like, we've seen it before. And although he didn't draw it.
You know that if this is a TV show, when you look back at it, this particular imagery is like all over the school. Like if you're in the background of like various shots, you totally like, yeah, for
Yes.
sure.
And he's like scribbling, and he like pauses for a sec as he lifts it up. He's like, "Hey, do you think Casey's okay?" And then he like looks to his side, and you're not there, and he's like looks back down and just carries on drawing.
I almost said
Aw,
something about Casey,
Joel.
but instead I left. Now I feel bad.
Poor Joel.
I know.
So I think with that, the swim practice will come to an end, and
Yeah.
coach comes out and goes, "Good job, ladies, well done," and everyone
Coach is
kind of-
basically just friggin' chaperoning at this
Yeah.
point. Just leave it to me. I'll fucking deal with it.
And do you have any? Yeah, I suppose you don't really need to talk to anyone in the team or
No,
anything.
I think like there's some passing like friendly commentary with Laura.
Yeah.
And like, get changed in locker room and then come out and I'd be headed to the door because I don't even like, you guys weren't even on my radar as being present.
Yeah.
At that point, which is I assume is when I get ambushed by George.
Yeah, I want to be like just standing behind the door when it shuts or opens or whatever.
So- Are you in the changing room? Are you in the hall
Where are we?
outside?
Set us
Where's
set us
where
the
are you?
scene, George.
I mean, the way my locker room was in high school was one huge
Yeah.
room, like
Yeah.
open, just open, no walls, no
But
nothing.
I'm wondering if you're waiting at the swimming pool entrance to the locker room, in the
Yeah.
locker room itself,
Wherever she
or-
would exit.
Okay.
Yeah, just
or
literally just standing there.
So like I imagine it as being like the locker room is just on the side of the pool, you know what I mean? And like you have to go through it,
yeah,
sort
to,
of thing, to
yeah,
get to the hall.
To
Yeah,
give
yeah.
to give a little bit extra info, if you're inside the locker room, everyone's coming in at the same time to change. So you would be essentially trying to talk to Tori there. You could also wait for her in the swimming pool area, where the exit is. But again,
That's-
everyone would see
Yeah.
you talking to her. You could wait for her outside in the hall.
How stealthy are you being? Like this is not.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
not
not being stealthy, but I want to block your literal walking way.
You want to like get in my way? Okay.
I'm going to wall you wherever the door is,
All right,
but I don't
well-
want to get in the way of everyone else. So I'm assuming it would be one of the later exits. I also probably wouldn't want to do it in the huge pool area and talk to her literally where Joel is,
Yeah,
where
yeah,
he
yeah.
might like stumble and be like, "Oh, back there,
So this is like in a hallway, probably.
So basically, in the hallway outside the locker room, which is like
Yeah.
the main school area.
Yeah.
Okay. In that case, you're kind of like standing there next to the door, waiting for Tori to finish changing and come out. There's someone there as well, who is also standing there.
Do I know them?
You would recognize them. He's still in his in his shorts and jersey. It's Aaron Ford.
Oh.
He is a basketball team. And from what you probably know, because people know about Tori, he's kind of Tori's guy. Sometimes and sometimes not is the best way to describe it.
Well, and also he was friends with Casey, right?
He
like
was also
technically.
friends with Casey. Yeah.
I do remember that. Yep.
When you look at him or see him or whatever, he gives you a smile and
Hi.
hey, George, right? Georgette,
George's good.
George. I'm Aaron. I don't think we've ever really talked, but yeah.
Yeah.
Are you waiting for someone?
I am. Yeah. Am I bothering you?
No, not at all.
Can I help you?
I don't think so. I'm waiting for my girlfriend.
And at that, she's just gonna do the not walk, but just turn another direction.
The like this
Lean on a
conversation.
wall.
This conversation is over. Yeah. I at this
Well,
point,
sorry.
Tori, probably emerges.
Oh, okay, if Tori.
Unless you want to keep going, Sheepy,
no,
please,
he was
by all
gonna,
means.
Yeah, he was gonna keep going.
Oh, go with it.
Yeah, go with it.
So you on the swim team?
No.
How come?
Is this a prank? Am I being pranked?
No. Wait. No.
You're talking to me, and you don't have to.
Right.
You need something.
No. I just thought I'd make conversation, I guess.
He's so
Why aren't
nice.
you on the girls' swim team then?
I'm on the basketball team. I don't like to commit to too many things.
That like deadpan joke?
So hard. Yeah, no, that makes sense. You look super busy.
Oh, well, our practice finished early, someone got injured. So I figured I'd wait here and wait for Tori to get out.
Tori,
Yeah.
your girlfriend Tori.
Kind of, yeah.
Does she know?
That I'm waiting here? No. I thought I'd surprise her. You know, maybe take her, go get some lunch or some food.
Yeah, she definitely seems like the type to be into surprises. You should do that.
Yeah.
Maybe even jump out.
I don't think it's. I don't think anyone really enjoys people jumping out at them, do they?
Clowns exist.
Yeah, but no one likes them.
Someone might like clowns.
I don't think so.
That's what you get for thinking.
What do I get for thinking?
Oh my god, are they done? Do you know when swim practice ends? Shouldn't
you
this
can
have been...
you can come out now. Tori.
All right, yeah, Tori. It's like people have been passing you in the hallway. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
people have been
various
walking.
girls from the swim team, and eventually, Tori comes through that hall because that's the way out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And
She
Aaron,
doesn't expect to see you or Aaron,
No.
so there's a little bit of like, look to Aaron, look to you, like, what are you? Could you two possibly be doing together? There's a moment of calculation, you know.
I'm gonna
where-
do the Aaron.
and
Okay.
From the floor, bro.
I mean, Aaron doesn't even like notice that because when Tori
Yeah.
starts coming down the hall, he like kicks himself off, leaning off on the wall, and puts his helmet and says, "Tor, hey."
Hey, Aaron. How's practice?
It finished early. Someone got injured. I thought maybe you want to go grab something to eat before you head home.
I don't know if I have time today.
Come on, you never have time. Like, we'll just grab something quickly and.
Oh, okay. Like, you know, if we can be like fast about it.
Yeah,
Right.
sure. I have to get home too. So just grab a quick bite in town and then head home.
Yeah.
Okay.
That sounds good.
And he looks over to George and smiles and waves. It was nice to meet you.
Yeah.
And
Pleasure.
There's a look to George like, and something.
Oh, hey, Tor. Before you take off.
I'm sorry. Were you waiting for Tori?
Not. What a weird sound to come out of the pool area.
Yeah.
Werewolf.
And she's gonna like kind of freeze up, like, oh shit, she didn't really, anticipate this, and in a panic moment, be like,
Oh no!
I need a
it's fine.
tampon, and
Oh shit! Yes, good move.
It's fine, Tori. I'll be outside. I'll
Yeah,
wait for you there.
I'll catch up with you in just a sec.
Okay.
Like-
Nice to meet you again. And he smiles, like beams, and walks off.
sorry about the menstruation. It's real bad. Ow.
He maybe pauses for like a half second and kind of like a shake that off kind of way.
There's nothing to say to that.
Completely ignores it and keeps walking pretty much.
And now it's just the two of us in the hallway. And Tori says, why are you here? What do you want?
Dude, no one is talking to me since yesterday. That happened, right?
I thought like generally nobody talked to you. Like I thought that was like every day.
I'm not generally ignored like I'm invisible. That thing in the tree came home with me and is under my bed. All the time.
Wait, it's
It
living in your-
sterilized
in your
my
house?
home.
Well, that's not
It folded my clothes.
it's not a bad thing, is
It
it?
chose a name.
Well, I guess you better keep feeding it if it's living in your house. You don't want it like pissing all over your stuff.
It does piss on things. You might have been being facetious, but it actually pisses on things and agreed to stop pissing via food. I feel like I'm losing my mind.
Okay, well, like, what do you need?
Can you come like see it and just tell me it's real and I'm not actually crazy?
You want me to come to your house?
I'm gonna be honest. It might be here. I don't know if it stays in my house or not. I'm losing my mind, Tori.
Look, you got to get your shit together, okay? We can't be freaking out like this. Whatever you do to calm your shit down, you need to do that thing. I don't know, smoke, draw graffiti under the bleachers, whatever. I skateboard, whatever it is. It's do the normal thing. Normal, okay?
Normal.
Because if this one first problem is gonna freak you out like this, we got no chance.
Okay, so but get this. It can see us.
Yeah, I can see you too. What the fuck are you on?
It's a really convoluted story about milk and bread, and I'm not even gonna go there. But it can tell if people are, different.
It can tell
It can tell.
just by
It
looking.
told
at
me the gravekeeper's a dog.
Okay. Didn't William say something like that as well?
Yeah. That's why it was pissing on everything. I'm telling you, I was up until 3 a.m. learning about the various activities of this creature. But it can tell
When
who's
Tori
what.
when Tori mentions William, she's like, "Oh shit!" Like, there's like a moment of like, "I okay."
Oh
I'm
yeah,
gonna
I forgot about that.
and then she says like, "Look, I may have made a mistake yesterday when I was driving William home.
What?
A mistake, an accident,
Involving?
involving accidentally telling Will to be cautious of you and sort of."
Oh, good.
invoking-
Oh, good. So you can't turn that off.
I mean, maybe I could tell him not to. I guess.
Will he go crazy? I mean, is there a certain amount of times you can flip-flop on someone before they just like...
I don't know. I don't know anything further than that people do what I tell them. I have no idea.
Maybe we should find someone and just like try it.
You want me to just try it? You want me to mess with someone's mind just because we want to
You
test
already
it?
did. We might as well not ruin someone we know.
Okay, what do you want me to test?
She's thinking about Joel because he's already kind of dumb. That might be super cruel and horrible.
That would be so mean.
Would-
What about
would
what
she-
about that dude that was waiting for you?
Aaron? I don't want to mess with Aaron. Aaron's nice.
You're dating him with him. Aren't you dating? Isn't that already an...
What is the implication of that? I can date.
I mean, can you just try it? He's got to annoy you. There's got to be like a habit that drives you crazy, right? Like chewing his nails or tapping his foot or, being there after swim practice.
Okay, you want me to see if I can like invoke a deeper issue? Is what you're saying? Like something more than just like do this thing?
Yeah. That would be awfully helpful in going back to normalcy.
Okay, how about this? Stop panicking.
I'm not panicking.
Ooh, okay.
That's the command.
Ooh.
As you say, stop panicking. There's this faint smell of like sea breeze. Your eyes kind of go this like kind of light emerald, sea green, in the irises, and you feel the power, in the words you put out there. It's not the more subtle thing. It is a hammer on an anvil of command. And George, you hear the words, but you don't register what they're saying because they seep into your bones, and all of that kind of like high-strung energy where, you know, you're worrying about everything currently just seep away, and you're chill. You're just like, you know, there's nothing to worry about. Everything's cool. Nothing's a problem. It's not an ongoing command. It's very much a, for this moment, you stop panicking.
Do I see her eyes do the...
You see her eyes do the thing, and in this instance, yeah, you don't really register that she's done something.
I think Tori immediately dispels the idea of her not having done anything by saying, like, you feel better?
And then you realize, oh shit, she just made me calm down.
Yeah, she'd probably be like, I feel fine. Why would you...
Yeah, and that's why I don't want to mess with it, right? Because you didn't even know I did anything until I said so.
You're like a drug.
I
That's
guess.
lovely.
All right, so
You
you're
make
good.
A lot of money is all I'm saying.
You're
Yeah. I be concerned?
You're not.
Yeah.
okay. Now here's the real trick. Can I get rid of that? I know it. Like, can you just think about things that make you nervous? Like anything that makes you nervous. Just build it back up again. See if you can panic, because if you can't panic, I need to fix this.
This situation normally would make me very sweaty.
Yeah, and you start to feel a bit more nervous, and you're like thinking about it, and like the implications, and Tori's a little scary right now, probably. You feel the panic rising, and yeah.
Yeah, normally, you know, being at school around people, talking to them, being around you, your boyfriend really wanted to talk. That was uncomfortable. I feel sweaty.
Yeah.
You know Aaron's just trying to be nice, right? Like, he's actually really nice.
To get something.
To,
Like, he wants something.
I mean, sure. Who doesn't?
No reason to waste time on someone that just wants something. That boy has never spoken to me a day in his life, and today he asked me why I was on the swim team, and the first thing I thought was, you want to see me in a bathing suit? And I almost punched him in the throat.
Okay.
Getting more anxious.
You can indeed panic again. That's good news for us, I think.
Yeah. So it's not forever? Can you make it forever?
Do you want me to try?
Not on me. I'm just curious. And she'll like look away, like maybe it was the eyes. She doesn't know how it works, but you know, like.
Well, if you're not going to
No.
volunteer, I'm not going to do it on purpose to anyone if I can avoid it. For now.
At all? What's the point of it then?
I've been thinking about this. I've read a lot of books with all kinds of magic in them, and you know, fantasy. Anyway, it doesn't matter. She says, like, completely outside of her usual wheelhouse of thing you would imagine that she would do.
Yeah.
And she says, if I can make someone feel a certain way forever, then I can change their whole personality whenever I want. Do you understand how dangerous that is? If I wanted you to go on... She, like, stops herself and then, like, thinks and says, if I wanted you to be murderously angry, I could make that true.
Please do not.
You can see why I'm a little concerned.
No, I get that. I haven't accidentally consumed anything, so yeah.
Well, except
can
that
see
pen,
Why
which
you're
you
worth
ate.
more money. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, so I ate a pen. I was bored. Everybody chews on pens. I haven't
Yeah, they don't-
accidentally mind fucked anyone lately, though. How? You have to be able to turn it off. Like, you have to be able to speak without making someone murderous. That's insane.
As long as I avoid commands, it's been okay. But you know, that's kind of my thing. So
Have you tried it? Like, telling an animal to do something? I wonder if it works on, like, wild animals, because that'd be pretty sick.
I mean, they can't understand my words. So look, I can't have this conversation for much longer. Aaron's gonna be waiting, and I have to catch up with him.
I'll glance, and he's probably like, on a window.
Oh no, he's
love you. I'm just kidding.
he's for now wandered off
Chilling.
and waiting.
Yeah.
I mean, he knows where her car is. Yeah.
Yeah, at that, George probably remembers. I'll be like, oh, no, you're right. Thank you for not ignoring me.
Look,
And
we
that's
can always
gorgeous.
talk, okay? We just can't do it where people are gonna notice because that's just a whole thing.
Is there a place that nobody notices?
For me, no.
Sick.
Maybe for you.
How about I let you initiate the chats and I just don't anymore?
And the door to the pool opens up, and Joel wanders out, and then like looks right, swings left. George,
You want to get your friend?
I've been waiting for you for like 20 minutes.
Probably got some marker around his mouth.
No,
where he's
he's-
holding them.
So it's really weird just sitting in the pool by yourself when no one's doing anything.
Bud,
And he like
I've been
walks-
waiting for you. Let's go.
He like walks over. He's like, "Oh yeah. Hey, who's your friend?"
This, you don't know.
Tori looks like, how could you not know who I am? Are
I
you
was literally just gonna
serious?
say, you don't know Tori. You don't know Tori?
Sure. Hey, I'm Joel.
Hi,
This is my
Joel.
buddy Joel.
Oh.
I'll let you two get on with whatever you were doing.
Yep. And she's gonna grab Joel and just like walk away, kind of at full force.
See you later.
Yeah.
Tori also heads off in the correct direction for exiting the school.
Um.
And we're gonna, I'm assuming, because it's probably not that much later, we're probably gonna go to the skate park and chill.
Okay. Yeah, it's not that much later, really. So you head off to the skate park and chill. Tori, you head out the front door.
Oh, we still on me. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I head out the front door.
And Aaron's there by your car, not leaning on it. He knows better.
Thank God. Don't smudge that shit.
He smiles and says, "Shall we go?"
Yeah. Where were you thinking?
There's a new place, reasonably new Furies. I thought we could maybe just grab like a burger and fries.
Usually there would be protests, I think, here where it's like, burger and fries. Are you serious? But she's like, yeah, sure, that'll be quick. Furies, sure.
All right. And he like jumps in the passenger seat, and you reverse out and drive, and head to Furies. Walk in. The waitress is nice and friendly, and she asks you what you want to eat. Aaron literally just says, burger, fries, Coke.
Yeah, Tori picks something off the menu that looks like it's gonna be not overly calorific.
And the waitress says, "We do have a new chef in, so," and hits the thing. Let us know how he does, and walks back in, and your food comes out quite quickly. Just general idle, chatter, etc. And
No Chef Jeff.
No Chef
Sadness.
Jeff. He's retired.
Yeah, retired. Dead. So idle chatter with Aaron seems like it would be almost like
It's so generic.
Almost insanely mundane
It's
compared
so-
to like what I just did, which was test my mind control on George.
Yeah.
You know? So it is, yeah, absolutely as generic as possible. Like Tori definitely likes him and wants him to like her, but
Yeah.
not to the point where she's willing to compromise on basically anything.
It's
I'm so sorry,
well, I did.
but that was a genius sentence.
I thank
Not
you.
as much
Thank
as
you.
he would want to compromise on basically anything.
Yeah.
And after a little bit of time, like, you know, you're kind of eating and chatting and everything, and then Aaron kind of gets a slightly more serious look on his face. He's just been talking about your day and like what's been happening, and you know, talking about going to the lake and if you're okay since you know the lake incident.
Tori brushes that shit off as
Yeah,
fast
yeah,
as
yeah.
possible. Like, how dare
And-
you worry about me? I'm indestructible.
And he's not very he doesn't push on anything, so if you dismiss it, he's very happy to completely ignore it. He's one of the things you like about Aaron is he's very willing to go with the flow, and he's
Yeah.
very good at picking up social cues. So when
Except
you're
with George, apparently, where he just needed to have that conversation so bad.
I mean, he's aggressively nice.
Yeah.
So
He thinks everybody should be his friend, is the thing
Yeah.
about Aaron.
Yeah.
Right?
I wanted to pull the graveyard keeper on him and just be like, pat, pat, pat. Piss, bro, pat.
But yeah, it's essentially he probably picked up to a certain degree. Like he's not stupid, but the way he deals with people being suspicious or angry or whatever with him.
He's just a disarming kind of guy.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And he gets a little bit more serious, and he says, "We haven't really like hung out much like the past week or two. I was wondering, no, you know, it's not super important. I was just wondering if everything's all right, or you know, if like maybe the swim team is taking up too much time."
I mean, you know how it is with my family and
Yeah.
stuff. I can't always like make time for you after school. I got other stuff to do.
Yeah.
And I like hanging out, and I like, you know, spending time with you when I can, but it's been like really crazy.
I know, and me too. You know, basketball, and you know, my family's always wanting me home, and curfew. Like things being kind of crazy in town recently, and they're worried. You know, they're worried if I don't get back before it gets dark, something's gonna happen to me. You know, but I don't know. I thought if you're interested, we could have like a proper date maybe soon.
Yeah.
Wait,
yeah.
Just when you have a free night or something.
What about Thursday night? I think I can do Thursday.
Thursday? Yeah, yeah, no, I can do Thursday.
I'll leave the plans to you, but I'll keep my evening open.
Okay. I'll try and think of something.
She like feeds him the like, it's all on you, friend, you know,
Yeah.
like move.
Love that one.
And yeah. And then but she like seems kind of genuine about it, right?
Yeah.
She
Tori
says
doesn't strike me as cruel.
no,
Well-
yeah. Especially not with like people who are her friends generally. And like Aaron and Laura and like the closer friend group are like generally pretty safe from her caustic attitude.
Mm.
And what do I say here? Like yeah, Thursday evening. Listen, I can't hang out much longer.
No,
today.
I have
gotta
to
get
go
back.
home too, yeah, so just, and like, there's not much food left. He like picks up his burger and just like shoves the last bit in, and like, you know, pulls out his wallet, puts some money on the thing, tip obviously because we're in America,
Tori could pay, but she doesn't.
Yeah, no. Aaron himself as well, you know, is from a pretty well-off family. Not quite as well-off, but as Tori, but still pretty damn decent. He's got his own car, you know, all that kind of stuff.
As they're paying, Tori's like, you need a ride back to the school, like get your. You know.
No, it's okay. Actually, I was thinking, and he's still in his like, he's put on kind of sweatpants, but he's still got his jersey on and everything, and his sneakers. And he's like, I was actually thinking about running home. Like, basketball practice ended early, so I didn't really get that much of a workout. I figured I'd, you know, make up for it, especially work off this burger.
Tori smiles like, yes, that is what you should do. Absolutely. 100%. Yeah, all right. Well, I'll make my own way then.
Yeah.
I'll see you Thursday.
Well, I mean, see you in school tomorrow.
She gives him the eyes that suggest she could do like a goodbye, like smooch here, but doesn't, and then leaves.
And he kind of stands there for a second or two, and then turns and starts to jog.
Nailed it.
And you head home?
Yeah, I think so. Like, schedule wise, this is what I should have done maybe like half an hour ago.
It's not too important, and the reason you were okay is like your dad has another day off.
Yeah.
Just because.
Oh sure, yeah. I mean, she wouldn't have delayed for anything if she knew
Yeah.
she had to get home.
Yeah.
Right. There's a certain expectation to be home by X time, unless communicated otherwise.
Oh, for sure.
And it's much more inconvenient to do that these days in the 90s.
Yeah.
You gotta find a landline and like call, or you gotta like
Payphone?
you gotta leave a note in the morning when you leave so that it can be found in the evening, right? Like
Somewhere it will be found, and no one's gonna move it. Plus, everyone thinks you're dead. Man, those were scary times.
When you get home and walk into the house, you hear the Hoover going in the living room, like, and you hear some pitter patter upstairs of the twins like running around upstairs. You walk in, you know, standard like getting home. You walk into the kitchen,
coat off, boots off.
Yeah, and grab something from the fridge. You see on the calendar, you know, it's got that thing circled again. Mom home tomorrow, all that kind of thing.
Ooh, tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And a little bit of time passes, and then you hear the Hoover, the vacuum cleaner. What do you call it in America?
It's a vacuum.
Vacuum. You hear the vacuum go off, and like you hear kind of boof 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 boof, like kind of hurried footsteps as your dad runs into the kitchen. He has an apron on, and it's one of those like flowery apron type things. And it's like tied behind his back, and he's like, he like looks and he looks up. He goes, "Tori, you're back."
Yeah, just like 5 minutes ago.
Yeah. Mom called from the airport. She came home a day early. She's going to be back in about an hour.
Oh, Tori's like, great. You know,
yeah,
like
so clean your room. I've got the twins already cleaning theirs. Go make sure that they're cleaned up. And everything's gonna be fine. Okay, we got an hour. We can tie this place up. Everything's gonna be okay. And he like runs outside, stops, and he's like, cloth, and runs back in, goes grab the cloth.
Yeah. Her dad's such a dork for her mom. Love it.
I mean, so cute. The apron image is so cute.
Yeah. Tori does as her dad bid and heads up to her room. Her room is generally pretty tidy anyway.
It's generally reasonably tidy.
And there isn't really much to do. It's mostly just like throwing some laundry in a hamper and you know, just like keeping the floor clear of any random stuff.
Yeah.
Straighten up her desk, that kind of thing. But an hour for her mom, like the expectation here that you set is that her mom is like this is gonna matter to her. You know what I mean? So we'll see. I don't know what she's gonna be like. You know,
How long has it been since you've seen your mom? Do we know?
Couple of months.
couple months. Yeah. She's like absent in terms of like doing work internationally. Is like her thing. She'd live in a much bigger city if her husband wasn't a surgeon here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
She has a tendency to Paris, New York, Tokyo, London, you know,
All
like,
the good places.
Yeah, all the good places. And
Fashion design.
yep. So she's not. She's probably one of those people who was a runway model, but then when it was getting harder to be a runway model, she just started with fashionista, designing dresses, you know,
Doing
all
her
that
own
kind of thing.
brand, yeah.
Her own brand, and like she's always jet setting to go to all of the, you know, I want to call them conventions, but that's not quite right.
Kind of.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
kind of. Fashion
Similar.
conventions.
The fashion weeks, the runway shows, and all that kind of thing.
Yeah. You gotta put in the FaceTime in the popular locations. you
Yeah,
know?
yeah. So we will fade on
Yeah.
a slightly, we'll say for now, a slightly worried look from Tori, basically being like, "Mum's coming home."
Oh,
Okay.
good. Okay.
And we will rejoin. Well, technically rejoin Cecilia.
Why do you say technically
Well, 'cause
rejoin?
we haven't really seen Cecilia this session yet,
No, true.
so my words were correct. Thank you. You are in your Candy Striper outfit because you are in the hospital. If anyone doesn't know what Candy Striper is, it's kind of very often volunteering at hospitals in the US. You have this kind of like red and white stripy kind of like
It's so bad.
yeah, it is.
It is
It's
really bad.
so bad.
But it's what it is. I didn't make the rules. And you're going back and forth, and you're essentially, and feel free to elaborate on what Cecilia does as a Candy Striper. But the majority of what you do is you go in with the doctors and change bed sheets. You know, you read to some of the patients, you keep them company, and it's kind of a little bit moral support and a little bit just general cleaning and assisting in the rooms. Sometimes when a patient dies, you have to help clear out the stuff and give it to the family. You don't get super involved with the general treatment of patients. You're much more a support worker. You're much more an assistant to the hospital, like doing all the odd jobs that need to be doing.
Like a nurse's aide kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think she doesn't mind that stuff because like the reason she's doing this is like because it's good for the like community, because it'll look good in the future, obviously. And also because she likes when you help someone in the hospital, like you have people who won't be grateful sometimes, but mostly people will be grateful for it. And like that gives a little boost as well. And also obviously she one of her motivations as well to have started at the hospital was to get over her vivid disgust for blood. So if she needs to clean anything up and stuff, she will like force herself to do such a thing, and she likes to do it on a regular basis because she believes that someday that'll change. Someday, truly, hopefully.
And as she's kind of on a little bit of a break, one of the nurses kind of bustles by the little station bit where you have in the hallway. It's essentially down the hall a little bit. Ashley is like picking up and packing a few things. You're kind of having a very quick sit down before you have to get back and do more work, essentially. And one of the nurses bustles down and says, Cecilia, Ashley, could you see to Mr. Stoker's room and clear it out? Poor dear died in the night, and we just need to clear out his room and get all his stuff together for when the family come in.
What is her name?
Nurse Ratchet.
Ratchet. Yeah, sure, Miss Ratchet. We would love to do that. And she
absolutely. And Ashley immediately pipes up, and she puts down what she's doing, and she's like, yeah, we'll be totally willing to do that.
Yeah. It's that way.
Oh, actually, it's and she kind of implies that it is where you said, but it's also down the hall a little ways. She's like, actually, it's kind of down that way.
Yeah, totally. We'll find it and we'll clear that out for you.
Yeah, let's go. And she immediately stops what she's doing and goes to do this thing. It's like a look in a really twisted mirror.
Yeah, I think she I think that's also the reason why there's not a lot of conversation when they're walking there, because they are both walking at a slightly faster pace.
Yeah.
An up-tempo pace, and in the beginning there will be one glance to the side from Cecilia, she'll just look to the side, but then just keep walking and smiling and stuff until they get to the room.
And then they go, you both go in and you start tidying up and moving things and picking up. And I would say that even though both of you are fairly high, motivated and etc., you do still treat people's stuff with respect. It's not do it as quickly as possible.
No. Obviously, it's no. You never want to do it as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
You want to do it as thoroughly as possible, and you want to be more thorough than the other person.
Yeah. And after 10 minutes maybe of clearing up and not really talking to each other, Nurse Ratchet sticks her head in again and says, "Sorry, girls. We have a few too many people in the emergency room. Could one of you just come and walk the room and, calm people down, talk to them, and make sure they're okay until we can get to them, please?" And Ashley has her head down and she's still going, and it's that's not, she doesn't want to do it very clearly.
Excuse me?
That type of job is very thankless in the sense of, from the hospital standpoint, it's basically hey, can you be a greeter for a bit? It doesn't, whatever.
Oh, okay, no. Cecilia doesn't feel the same as Ashley does. This authority figure, this nurse, is asking them to do this, to do her a favor in that way.
Yeah.
So, it doesn't matter that it's an ungrateful job. Cecilia is oh yeah, I'll totally do that. I'm get that it's really busy. I'll gladly help out like that.
And Ashley looks up and she's like, "Oh, Cecilia, that's great. Don't worry about here. It won't really change how quickly we can get this done. I'll get it done in no time." And
I'm sure you'll do it perfectly as you always do, Ashley. I'm gonna go help out.
And Nurse Ratchet's completely oblivious that you two are bitch.
Take care now.
Take care.
I'll help
Bye-bye.
out where they ask to help out.
You kind of put down the sheets that you were picking up and put them down to the side so Ashley can deal with them. Walk out and walk into the ER, the emergency room kind of area. I would say it's quite busy. Accidents and things like that. There's one person who appears to be have a massive wrap around, and there's
I know where you're going with this. I know what you're gonna do, Sheepy.
What?
I know what you're gonna do. There was an accident in basketball, right? Look at that smile.
He's got a tactically planted beard so he can hide his facial features behind it.
And as you're looking around, you see sitting down with his leg out, kind of resting on a gym bag, is Rodney. And as you walk in, he like looks in, thinking that the doctor's here for him, and he like his like smile goes down for a second, and then he's like, oh, and he like puts his hand up and like waves at you.
I cannot with this theme song. Oh, she wasn't like, she was totally not prepared for this, right? Because
Yeah.
like this is a work environment, quote unquote.
Yeah.
So she was like smiling, looking around, and when she sees that he's sitting there with his leg up and stuff, she like, there's like an O forming, like, oh, and then she realizes that like he literally saw her,
Yeah.
and then she's like, oh, hey, Rodney.
Do you walk
Um,
over?
What a terrible time to be wearing that candy striper.
Yeah, I know. She is conscious of it.
Yeah. And do you walk over to him?
Yeah, sort of, because like they wave and they acknowledge each other, so
Yeah.
she knows that like she takes a few steps closer.
He says, I didn't know you worked here.
Yeah. I from time to time, you know, I like to help out. It's a good thing, you know, to help out on the jobs that the nurses are sometimes too busy to do themselves, and it's great to help to the community and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. That's awesome. Man, you made me feel bad about myself. I never help out.
It's, you know, it's personal preferences. I
guess...
want to get places, and not that you don't want to, you know, get places. I just like, you know, we all do are different. I'm sure you also have like your things that like you maybe want to get a scholarship or something. Yeah, like yeah.
It's like as you kind of trail off there, there's like a couple of seconds pause, and like he blinks, and he's like, yeah,
Your leg.
Ankle. Yeah, no, I was playing basketball, and he's still in his shorts and his jersey and everything. Like says they were worried that it could be serious, so they said I should. Well, they brought me here to get it looked at, essentially.
Oh, they dropped you off and they left no one with you?
Yeah.
And she like looks around the room, and she's like, I hope you won't have to sit here for too long. It's the nurses are saying that it's crazy busy and all of that.
I assumed that you were here to let us know how long the wait would be.
I can't really say how long the wait will be. They're working. They're very hard at us, and they are.
Oh.
I'm just here to make sure that everyone, if there's something wrong, you know, I will go let them know. So if you suddenly feel any weird pains or like just
No weird pains. Just slightly hurt ankle. Hard to walk. I kind of have to hop.
yeah, that genuinely happens when you hurt your ankle.
Yeah.
You can't really walk on it.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't. And he like kind of leans forward a little bit towards you. I don't know if I'm allowed to ask, but could I have a drink or something? Maybe like I'd get it myself, but it's hard to stand up.
And she like looks around the room, and she's like, I'm sure I wouldn't mind. I'll just quickly go get you something.
And he like reaches in to get it to his bag that's next to him. He's like, I've got some change here, and he like reaches in and like holds out some change for like the just like a soda or something.
Yeah, I'll be right back with it. Don't go I would say don't go hopping anywhere, but you want to see the doctor,
Yeah,
so
no,
you wouldn't
I'll be
go
here.
hop anywhere.
Yeah, I'll be here.
Yeah. All right, and then she like takes the change and goes to walk away. She like just to ease her guilt, she stops at like one of the like people a bit further away, and she just like to a few of the people in a row just says like
"It
the
won't be
doctors
long."
are like the doctors are working very hard, the nurses are like doing everything they can. If there's anything, let me know, like I'll make sure that you are handled as fastly as possible, like if you know. And then she's like okay, yeah, and then she walks away. She's like, I did that.
I
so-
remembered to do that, even though, yeah.
So yeah, she walks over to go get sodas, and I am assuming that at this point, like every soda machine that you have has similar kind of like drinks, you know, they're all pretty much
all the
the same.
standards, yeah.
Yeah. And she will get she will get the ones that he got her the first time.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh my god.
But only one for him.
Yes. The
Yeah.
one that he got when he grabbed you guys in the judo.
Yeah.
And you come back and you hand it to him, and like he reaches out to grab it, and there is because it has to happen, right? There is a second where your fingers touch. And
Oh
then,
my god.
Cecilia becomes red.
yeah.
She like quickly like if he has it, like he's holding it so that she knows it won't. Oh, even if it can fall, she like quickly like
withdraws
releases.
her hand, and like there's like a little slip, and he manages to grab it before it falls or anything.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. And he
You
like,
have really quick reflexes. Luckily, your hands, nothing happened to your hands, you know.
yeah.
Yeah.
And he like looks down and kind of opens up the can and takes a sip.
I think and she looks around, and I imagine that at this point, just for dramatic purposes, it's not like it's quiet, like no one's complaining and stuff.
Yeah.
So she looks around as if she's looking for like an opportunity to do something.
Yeah.
And when she notices that it's quiet, she's like, so, how was your day?
Yeah, it's good. You know, I had basketball practice. Got injured. Went to classes before that. You know, pretty normal day mostly. How about you?
Just another exciting day of following classes. Nothing weird happening. Everything's super boring. Yeah, God, I wish that something exciting would happen once in a while. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And
Yeah, sometimes this town just feels very normal, you know?
and as you're, saying that, Nurse Ratchet comes out, like sticks her head out and calls her and says, "Cecilia,
Oh, yeah?
we need you back here if you don't mind. Thank you for doing this."
No worries. With pleasure.
And she bustles back.
Yeah, and she turns back to Rodney and just says like, I have to go back and
Yeah, no,
you've
got work.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming out to check in on everyone here. It's really nice.
I hope that your leg gets seen after very quickly.
I'm sure it won't be long.
I'm sure it won't be. Let's say that I'll if you're still here after my shift, something will have definitely gone wrong.
Yeah. Don't worry, I'm sure I won't be.
Right. I'll see you at school.
Yeah. I'll see you at school.
And she like turns around and like swiftly walks away.
Yeah, and as you're like walking away, like you're kind of close to the end, you hear him shout. You hear him kind of semi shout, like, Cecilia.
Yeah.
And he pauses for a second, and he like looks around, like he realizes that it's quite quiet here and people are looking. He's like, "Do you want to do something soon?"
You know I have to work. You don't
like
meet
on
like
the weekend or something, maybe.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Okay.
All right. And she turns around, starts walking away, and I was like, fully blushing.
And he's like when you leave, the camera's like still with him, and he's like looking down at his like slight smile on his face and looking down at his soda can and like playing with the ring pull.
What a dork.
Yeah, she walks away hoping that like Miss Ratchet isn't like right behind the corner, and she like the typical scene of like, oh Cecilia, you're blushing.
No, she has a little time to compose herself.
Yeah. Just for flavoring, because I think the hospital scene will sort of end here.
Yeah,
if Cecilia will see Ashley again, she'll make sure that Ashley knows how good of a job that she did in the waiting room. Of
sure.
Like everyone was so peaceful and quiet, like they were so assured. It's amazing what a little assistance can do, you know. Like helping people, you know, like truly helping people and seeing how you help them, you know,
and helping yourself.
It's amazing, you know. It's just one of a kind feeling.
Okay. And we can finish this now.
This is the romance episode. You got
It is.
got all
Real
the
talk,
NPC,
you need
all the
people that are
NPC
like-
pair-offs.
Oh my god, though. Wait,
So,
no.
the afternoon progresses for everyone. I do want to check in on William. Is he up to much? What's he got going on?
He's what was the phrasing? Wary of George, or so he went after like school and stuff. He went straight home.
Okay.
So he's been doing homeworks.
Yeah, dinner with the
Catching up
family and so on and so forth.
And he also had a look around the family library.
Okay.
With his making sure that no one is home or no one's in that part of the house, and just seeing if any of the books give off anything. And he's also checked the theory he had that it might be like a case of the library has the mist thing. So he's checked the library in town on his way home from school. Just basically nip in real quick, and he's checking the family library as well.
Okay.
Basically, he went into the library in town, found a secluded corner, got the eye out, and saw if there was any mist anywhere.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming there wasn't.
No.
And then he's like, okay, so there's something with the school library. And also he basically had a look through shelves and stuff, but not moving anywhere, and see if any books give off an aura.
No, nothing really pops out in the library.
And then basically, so he was there for 3 minutes, and then he went on home.
As he's leaving, the librarian... Give me 1 second.
I can't remember her name.
It's a guy in the...
Oh, right. I was confusing with the librarian at school.
Yes. Just a guy, let's say, for now, because
The librarian.
The librarian at the school is the lady. At this town library, it's a guy. You know him to a minimal degree. Like, you come in here enough that you probably aren't on first name basis or know each other, but you recognize each other.
I think it's a case of he knows what I'm called.
Yeah.
Because I've had to check books out,
Yeah,
and my
he's
library
seen
card has my
your
name on it.
he's seen your name enough, and as you're kind of like hustling back out, he says, "Leaving so soon?"
Yes, I was just checking a thing, and turns out it's here, so I will be back for it when I've finished the one I'm reading now. Take care, bye.
Okay, bye.
Basically not stopping and just saying this as he's passing.
Yeah, and he kind of
Have a good day, bye.
like picks a book up and like looks down and starts to, go through the book for a second. He's like,
yeah, and we can see it's got Donald Duck on the inside, and it's just reading that inconspicuous.
He's like strange child, and just keeps.
Well, if only he knew.
Yeah. And when you get home as well, you do your homework and you have dinner with the family, mum and dad, and the conversation is pretty generic, just how was school and blah blah blah,
yeah,
all that type of thing. And when you check out the library, what I would ask is, the library is essentially like your dad's office. Would you go in there without permission?
If he's home, no.
Would you go in there without permission if he isn't home?
In the service of curiosity, Will would stick his head in. Unless there's like a piece of a hair over the door, one of those spy techniques to make sure no one breaks in, or a piece of tape or something.
Would Will check for something like that?
No, he would not, and neither would I. So.
What I'm saying is essentially, like, Will knows that his dad works for the government.
Yeah, no. He wouldn't go in to be like, oh, I wonder what this is. Oh, this is a paper I can sell to the Russians. No, that's not what he's doing.
No, I know. It's just...
Found myself a sick drone control unit.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, turns out, what's this? Operation Kingpin.
All I'm saying is, like, from my knowledge of kids and teenagers and that type of thing, especially the more well-behaved ones, very often the dad's office is fairly sacred and is a place they don't go even if they want to.
I can tell you that I was a well-behaved kid, and I definitely did not obey that rule.
I was about to say, and also you're describing Will as he was like a couple of months ago.
Yeah, before he had.
It hasn't like it's not really a couple of months. It's like a week or two.
Okay,
really.
Well, I was thinking not just before this stuff, but also before kind of settling in to. Like, you're describing Will as he was when he lived in the UK. And
now he's a badass who hangs out with stoners.
But his manners have, I don't want to say disappeared.
Shifted.
I want to say they've been diluted.
Okay. Then sure.
Such a good word for it. Diluted. I just have to say that's fabulous.
I'm not saying Americans don't have manners. I'm just saying they're diluted.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I mean, once again, he wouldn't go in with like a camera and take pictures and stuff, but he would like stick his head in and
like look around and see. You don't see anything.
He wouldn't even enter the room. He would open the door and stick his head in.
Okay. Yeah, you don't see anything.
Okay, cool. And then he just goes.
And he's like, go away.
Yeah. This particular time, it was. The manifestation, the thought that helped him manifest this time was when he had a chemistry test. And the teacher had taught out to, when you write out formulas, reaction formulas, if it's a 2-part formula, write out the 2 parts. Don't just amalgamate it into 1 part and give you the end product.
Yeah.
And then Will had written it out as 2 parts and not gotten a point for it. At which he was upset.
Yeah.
Because he basically, but you told us to do the thing, and now I did the thing, and I don't get any points for it, and it's correct. And basically, the teacher didn't go, "Oh yeah, sorry about that. You should have one more point." Basically,
like
she went,
waved him
"Well, it's not
away
going to
and,
affect your grade anyway,
yeah,
so
yeah.
whatever."
Just like,
And
sure.
that made his eye go, "Thump."
How dare.
I would say that it makes his eye manifest, but slower, and it's a lot quicker to disappear.
Oh, okay.
So it's
Well,
like,
he does manifest it that because that still pisses him off.
Yeah, for sure. But like what you'll notice from that is it does depend on the strength of emotion.
Okay.
And like while there's obviously anger there and that, it's less serious in a way than other kind of like deeper rooted things. But
Oh my gosh, I just had a good plan.
Yeah. It does mean that you have to kind of concentrate a little more, which means you get the feeling a bit more, like, because it's a bit more gradual. But it is also easier to kind of like ease away.
Yeah.
So I would say if at any point William is worried that he's going to manifest it and have difficulty getting rid of it, a different emotion, a slightly less intense emotion, equals ease of, dismissal, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. Finally, as we shift away from William breaking and entering into a government facility.
It's not a government
It's not
facility.
come on, it's
It's
not.
a private domicile with a government function.
Oh,
It's
for
not
sure.
the same thing.
Were they handing out top secret files as like souvenirs?
Yeah,
Definitely America, if so.
yeah. Home offices full of stuff that could bring down the whole government. Yeah.
We fade back into a fairly, for once, hectic household with Tori, her two siblings, and her dad. Basically, like, going back and forth and, like, get this done and get that done.
I mean, are we gonna go collect her at the airport or what? Is there an airport?
No, she is getting a town
Driving
car.
into town. Yeah.
I imagine she has a car service. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a
of
car
course.
And
Jeeves, take me home.
essentially, the sound of the gate buzzing kind of reverberates throughout the house as the gate opens, and you hear from probably upstairs in your room as you're tidying things up. You hear your dad say, "Kids, she's here. Welcome party." And you hear the doof, 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 doof of both of the twins like going downstairs and essentially lining up. Tori
acts a little bit less impressed,
Yeah.
obviously. But she still goes and like gets ready to say hello to her mom. You
Yeah.
know, haven't seen her in a while, and like
in a few
they
months.
don't have a terrible relationship.
No.
You know what I mean? So it's like, yay, my family's home to a certain degree.
Oh yeah. And
Also, I mean, this is the kind of mom where you're gonna get like the best possible, like, I'm sorry I neglected you for 6 months souvenirs,
Yeah.
right? Like, yeah. So
and when you get downstairs, like the twins are there, like lined up, and your dad's there, and he's taken off the fluffy apron and everything.
it's gone now.
He's hidden all evidence that he panicked, like cleaned up a little bit.
Yeah.
And you hear the click of the key in the door, and the door opens with your mom, Sylvia, walking in, accompanied by a assistant. You haven't met this one before.
Oh, I haven't met this one before. No. Okay. So there are several assistants and they happen a lot. All right, got it.
And as she's walking in, she goes, no. Do one in green, do one in blue, and just in case, but we're not going to use it, an orange and a red. Okay, go. And the assistant has like a kind of notepad and is like, shh, and then turns around and goes. And she stops. And she breathes. Howard! And Howard, like, rushes forward to her and, like, hugs her and kisses her on the cheek. And she's like...
That's right, Howard and Sylvia, everyone.
Yeah.
Those are the names of my rich parents.
And he goes, Sylvie! And, like, goes forward and he's like, and he'd, like... And as he goes in to hug her, she, like, puts her hand out. You're still dusty. And he like freezes, and he's like... Yes, I am, of course. And he turns and like runs into the kitchen. You hear like the taps start going, and the like, and then she walks forward, like click clack of high heels, you know, typical stuff. She is very resplendent in you know, like fancy dress and high heels, and you know, kind of like fancy jewelry and all that kind of thing. Like hair is all big and puffy and she...
90s. The 90s.
She walks up to Tori and says, Tori, it's been a couple of months now. And she like leans in and like hugs you and like kisses you on the cheek. And she says, how old are you now?
How old are we in this show?
Like
18?
17, 18, take your pick. If you're 17, you're coming up to your birthday, probably.
Yeah. I turned 18 last month, Mom, and it's nice to see you.
Of course. And how is school?
Great. Obviously, I made captain of the swim team, just last week.
Brilliant. And how is Aaron?
He's fine. She says, like, I don't want to commit too much to that.
Yeah. Good. And anything else? Getting along with your teachers? Yes.
You might hear from Dad that I had like kind of a short trip to the emergency room recently, but it's okay. I'm fine. I'm all right.
And from the kitchen, you hear, "Yep, everything was fine. I dealt with it." It's like, "Good, Howard. Thank you." And then she goes down the line and she talks to Samuel, and she you know, essentially what you're going to get here is when she talks to Samuel and when she talks to Renee, it's the same questions. It's like, how old are you now? Like, you know, how is school? She doesn't ask about boys or girls because they're a lot younger. But she essentially, you know, have you had any problems with your teachers and etc. And she's like, and then after she's spoken to everyone and Howard runs back out and he's kind of like, his shirt's a little bit wet because he'd quickly dabbed like bits of dust off himself. But he comes back and he gives her a hug and a kiss. And she's like, good. Okay. I'll be back for dinner in a couple of hours. Sorry to immediately run off, but I have to make a couple of calls. I have to talk to a couple of people. I'll see you at dinner. And she spins and walks out. And the door closes, and you hear the assistant like on the car phone being like, "Yeah, no, orange and red. We're not going to use them, but it's worth." And then as the door closes, that
big
cuts
car
off.
phone.
I love the idea of her sticking to her script so much and going, Howard, how old are you now? How's school?
And as she leaves, you could see your dad kind of like deflate a little bit in like, you know, kind of like sigh of relief and be like, all right, kids, I'm going to go start making dinner. Do what you want, but make sure you're back for dinner.
You know, Dad, I know that Mom really likes that that place down on Main Street. We could just, you know, like order in maybe. Last time you tried to cook for her, she didn't seem that impressed.
And you get this, like, you see the look in his eyes as he's like looking into the past and what happened last time he tried to cook for her, and the tongue lashing he got for doing a bad job, and he's like, good idea, Tori, good idea. I'm just gonna go. And he goes into the kitchen, and you hear the phone going. He's like,
yeah,
hello, Sachirales? Yeah, I'd like to make could I request a delivery, please? And, you know,
Mm.
And the twins, the twins like are kind of used to this to a certain degree because.
Oh sure,
you know,
this is like a twice yearly occurrence.
Yeah. And they kind of quickly run off and go and do their own thing. You know. I would say Renee probably hangs around for a second, and like you feel like a little tug on your sweatshirt, and she's like,
What's up, Renee?
"Do you think Mom was pleased? Sorry, do you think Mom was pleased?"
Yeah, I think so. Why did she not seem pleased? I think she seemed pretty pleased.
I don't know. It's hard to tell.
Well, you can ask her about it at dinner.
Okay. I'm gonna go do my homework.
That's probably smart. That way you don't have to worry about it later.
Yeah. And she, like, goof up the stairs and goes to her room. Samuel's already jetted off. And
He's already making a mess of the previously clean room that he shoved all the stuff under the bed to clean. Yeah. Got it. Yeah, I think Tori sort of... There's a moment where she goes into the kitchen, like, once her dad's off the phone.
Yeah.
And says to him, "You good? Everything okay?"
Everything is absolutely fine.
I'm just not used to seeing you get all worked up like that. You really only do it for Mom.
Mom is a busy person, and it is worth making sure that everything goes smoothly when she manages to make it back, because it gives her more time for you guys.
Yeah, but I mean, you're busy too. Like, don't stress out about it.
Don't worry, I don't stress out about it. It's perfectly fine. And then there's like a click from outside, like one of the twins like closing their door, and he's like, "She's home." And he's like, he rushes to the door and like sticks his head out.
No. Not for a couple hours. Not for a couple hours,
No,
she said.
Yeah, no, she's. I think that was Samuel. It's fine.
You gonna be okay if I just like leave you to it?
I'm always fine, sweetie. It's yeah. A couple of days off just discombobulated me. I'm back in tomorrow. I was gonna take the day off, but
because he's like usually a pretty serious guy, right?
Yeah,
like,
he's pretty
like
serious.
This kind of thing is like a little bit out of character.
It's not out of character for when your mum comes back.
Yeah.
But in general, like he is in a high stress job, and he does deal with kind of high stress people. He has it very together a lot of the time. Aside from when dealing with your mum. That's the best way I can describe it.
I told Aaron that I'd be free on Thursday night. Is that okay? Is that gonna be a problem?
No. I can come home a bit early, and for when Sam and Renee are back on Thursday. That's easy enough, yeah.
Okay. I'll probably be out late-ish.
Well, just be home before 10.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. I'm gonna.
And that's fine.
He's like, I'm gonna go get the table set, and then goes off and gets the table and everything. For dinner, unless you have something you particularly like to highlight, I think it'll probably just be like when your mum comes back, she comes in like on the dot of when dinner is supposed to be, like
oh, for sure,
sweeps in and everyone sits down and there's chatter and stuff. It's all very light and
I mean, her presence is an event, but it's an event that's about her, so it's fine.
There's a lot of her talking about she was in Paris and she was doing this and she was doing that, and it's all...
And obviously Tori is enamored with this like professional lifestyle, this idea of being that important, you know. So listens intently to the various stories.
Yeah. And like when you're actually sitting down and everyone's chatting and everything, like Howard and
Sylvia,
thank you. Howard and Sylvia, your parents, they get back into a rhythm of a lot more kind of chatty and happy and all those type of things. Like
it gets comfortable, right?
It gets more comfortable. Yeah, definitely.
They're just really waspy, you know. That's
yeah. And one of the problems is, of course, with your mum being back and forward so much, it kind of like it's always weird. Kind of the first coming back, and there's always kind of a panic because she's such a high, like not really high maintenance, but you know what I mean. Like she's high octane.
I mean, she's got standards, and she doesn't back down on them.
Yeah, but she's also so used to being this like high stress work environment where she's always on to the next thing and calling people and organizing stuff and everything that she brings that home a little bit, which is why your dad panics, because he's like, oh crap, if this isn't up to industry standard, I'm gonna be in trouble.
Wow, and then it's like, okay, her short visit for a couple of days is gonna be like argument and then another argument and then another argument, instead of like fun and good, which it can be and has been.
It can be, but it also sometimes isn't.
No.
And those are the rougher like times. But yeah, the dinner goes off without a hitch, and you know, you guys go and do your homework that you haven't done yet, and there's no real kind of like family hangout in front of the TV or anything. Everyone kind of does their own things, and your mum essentially after dinner pretty much immediately goes to bed to sleep. Early day tomorrow.
Seems reasonable.
So, saying all of that, all the rest of you, you know.
I don't think there's anything that Tori would do that would be like out of the ordinary during that period of time. So I don't need to highlight anything, I would say.
I would say, obviously for William, you know, just have a regular evening. I think for Cecilia as well, you'll probably get home, interact with the family as fairly usual, dinner, etc.
So now you've got a date with Rodney, maybe.
Well, what I was gonna say is
your heart must be soaring.
Everything is maybe a little bit pink and fluffy for you currently, so you don't notice things quite as much as you usually would. Like just
probably. Like you know, it's also like a nice relief from like the other thoughts and like everything else that has been happening. So it's like, oh, I can focus on this now.
So I'm not going to draw attention to anything in your evening either. Would you like a moment for Cecilia in her bedroom after, like, I don't know, I felt like you might want to.
I could just summarize it because, like,
you don't want to write in your diary about it.
Yeah, you know,
okay.
Like, believe that the affirmations worked, you know?
In that case, if we're gonna have a very quick Cecilia in her room, like after the day of where Rodney asked her out, go.
I think she would be fairly quickly running up the stairs and like going to her room after dinner. And plopping herself, like, you know, the typical scene of like plopping herself on the bed, taking one of the pillows and like hugging it against her chest, and like thinking
like
back,
cross-legged and kind of like that, like
no, like on her back, like laying down, like having a like, you know, falling back on your back on the bed, taking one of the pillows, hugging it, and then like thinking about it for a second, and then turning over and like doing little like like swinging of the legs in the air as you like lay on your stomach, you know?
Forth, like,
so I think that happens as she like thinks about Rodney actually asking her to hang out. At this point, still feeling the joy of like, oh my god, this actually happened. Not yet the stress that will come afterwards, for sure.
Yeah.
But
Riding
that's
the
for
high.
another day. As she looks to the right, on top of her closet, where the little soda can
Yeah.
sits
Well,
that.
there's two now.
Yeah.
What a weirdo.
The two soda cans stand, and she's like switching her legs and just living in this bliss of actually having someone interested in her and like being open about it, like being like actually saying such stuff as well, because normally she's not used to this. Normally, the soda can was there a long time ago.
Yeah.
If that means anything.
Since last year.
Yeah. So, I think I think her head is all over the place because I don't think she's used to also dealing with this like stuff. Like, she's thinking like, is this actually happening? Like, is he like he is interested in me? How? What? And then I think she quickly goes over to stressing about seeing him the next day in school.
Yeah.
I think she like quickly starts getting a bit panicked, like, oh my god, I'm gonna see him tomorrow at school. I don't know how help I, and then I think that's her evening bit.
That's fair. So, night passes, morning comes, everyone does their dailies, and, apologies, there is one other thing. So, when you finish at the skate park and you say laters to Rodney, to I want to say Tyler now. What the hell's his name? Joel.
Joel.
Sorry.
Our boy
Best
Joel, it's
boy
fine.
Joel.
You head home and Joel kind of walks part way to the church kind of area again, and then you go your separates. Like later, dude, laters. And when you get home, it's clean for a start.
Still.
Well, there's a little bit of mess, especially in the kitchen. And as you get home, you hear, George, you home?
Yeah.
There's food on the counter. Come and join us.
Who is this? Do I recognize this voice?
Yeah, it's your mom.
I don't know if have we ever really described the layout of my house.
Yeah, it's like a one floor, kind of like you've got the hallway, then the kitchen on the right, and then kind of like a sitting room on the left. And then like going back, you've got the bedrooms back there for you, your sister, and your mom. It's pretty simple.
Okay,
Pretty
so at the sound of her voice, I'd probably like drop my bag somewhere near the door and then look for some reflective surface to like make sure I don't look as like flustered as I feel.
Yeah.
Whatever, like I'm assuming there's pictures on the wall, anything, even like a framed motivational poster from Walmart or something.
Yeah.
Look at it really quick, just make sure like wipe old mascara from under my eye real quick, and then very tentatively make my way to the kitchen because it's just so out of the norm.
Yeah, and when you find like kind of like a fairly large like pie with a few like vegetables and stuff like kind of wrapped in cling film on a plate, and you like grab it and you walk into the like sitting room, the living room. The TV's going, the lights are off, and like you can kind of see the top of the head of your mum, and also your sister is sitting like on the couch with her. They're watching TV, and she kind of like turns around and like kind of looks as you go in and says, Hey kid, come on, sit down.
Much like a predator, like a prey animal around a predator, I'd probably like have my plate and like do the tiptoe around the couch.
Yeah.
Because this is so bizarre. She's like never home and never invites you into her personal space ever.
Yeah.
So this is super
Well,
bizarre.
it's not her room, it's the living room, so it's,
True. Yeah, that's true. So it's a little bit different. Yeah, I'd probably just come around and like
yeah.
kind of sit down tentatively and hey, mom.
And she clearly picks up on your weird energy, and she's like, I got the evening off, and there wasn't really anything to do around the house. It's so clean. And she puts her arm around Alyssa and is like, I bet you did everything. And Alyssa's kind of like, she says it in a jokey way, obviously, but it's still,
Yeah.
And it's essentially there's no real chat or anything. Like Alyssa laughs a little bit, and she's kind of like snuggled up with your mom to a certain degree. And unless you particularly want to talk about anything or anything along those lines,
Not at all.
I
would be
yeah.
so distant.
It's a fairly quiet, slightly awkward, especially for George. Just sit in front of the TV until it gets a bit later, and then Mom says it's time for Alyssa to sleep, and she says she's gonna go to bed too, and then you eat, and essentially she didn't have work for the night. So
Cool. Yeah, I'd probably just like sit in front of the TV, finish my food, and then I'd clean up all the dishes, take them to the kitchen, and I kind of want to just see is anything missing? I know the house is like abnormally clear from Puka.
It's clear. There's nothing missing. No.
Crazy. Okay, yeah. I'd probably clean up and just be doing dishes and having those moments of like, is it real? I don't know. It doesn't matter. Like, I'm freaking out.
If you had someone to talk to right now, you'd be talking to them. Yeah.
Exactly. But it's like probably like if there's a kitchen window above the sink, it'd be like talking to my reflection.
I think if I could highlight a little bit what George is probably feeling, at a guess, it would be, this is nice, therefore I don't trust this, and everything's gonna go back to how it always is tomorrow.
100%. Yeah. Like what she does is she gets this day off, becomes besties with Alyssa in 24 hours.
Yeah.
And then goes away, and because I'm not mom, I become bad guy.
And
to
also,
Alyssa.
Yeah, and also like it's like she finally has a day off where she becomes mom, and then it just this has happened before. Now and then she gets a day, she gets a week, and she's mom. But then she goes back to work, she goes back to some boyfriend or whatever, and but
it drops immediately.
It is nice to a certain degree when she has a day off and she doesn't bring a boyfriend back, or
that's probably like silver linings.
Usually when she has a night off and you walk in and she's like, hey, we're watching TV, instead of Alyssa like leaning up against her, she's got some dude and they're watching TV. And
it's usually not, hey, we're watching TV. It's, hey, will you do the dishes?
Yeah.
It's hey, we're watching TV, go away.
Yeah, exactly.
Grab your beer.
Yeah.
But you go to bed, and I will say, like, there's no Puka, Milka interaction or anything tonight.
Before she like the moment she hits the pillow, I don't think she could, just completely blatantly ignore the fact that Puka is probably there. She'd probably just whisper to her pillow, like, hey, Puka.
Just in case.
Honestly, exactly. Like, if she's not nice to Puka, she's just terrified of what might happen. Like, you did not acknowledge Puka last night. Stab, stab.
Yeah. Okay. And the night goes by for everyone. Could everyone please roll me a face danger?
I knew something was happening. I felt it.
I love to face danger.
I don't wanna.
Is this an unmodified face danger, Sheepy,
Yes.
I assume?
Yes.
Yeah.
We out here missing, boys.
Mild success!
Oh,
that's
Will.
not
Great success.
shocking.
LGT.
Fucking double sixes.
Okay, so we've got a 6 from Syrinx, a 7 from a 6 from Cecilia, a 7 from Tori, a 5 from George, and a 12 from Will.
Damn, Will.
Yeah.
Got those wards up.
So, George,
Oh no.
you are standing in blackness.
Again.
And as you're standing there, you hear the TV. The TV's playing, and sitting on the sofa in front of the TV with a beer in her hand, and this kind of like really ratty hair and these like big bags under her eyes, is Alyssa. Looking a bit older, a bit more mature, like grown up. And the face like flashes between you and her. So sometimes it's your face, sometimes it's hers. The house, like as you kind of, your senses kind of expand a little bit, the house kind of takes form, and it is run down and it's dirty, and there's like, you know, mess all over the place. There's like discarded beer bottles on the table. And you know, there's like a knock at the door, and which the figure, like either you or your sister, ignore. And then there's more of a like pounding at the door, and it's kind of like sigh and get up, and you follow as the person like walks towards the front door. Best you can tell, this is the house you currently are in, just a lot more, you know, how it was before, except for even worse, much more rundown, much more dank, and as the figure walks towards the door outside the curtains and the window, you see this kind of red and blue flashing light, just kind of like flashing in through a gap in the curtain and lighting up, and then the figure walks to the door, opens the door, and as the door opens, there's like a flash of light, a blinding white light, and you open your eyes in bed. You feel knackered. You feel so tired, like you didn't get any sleep, but it's morning, and it's time to go to school. And I would say you don't really remember the dream, like the dream sticks with you through the day to a certain degree, but you can't remember the details of it exactly. You just remember it being a little of a nightmare, something that upsets you, and you kind of get the feeling of like helplessness a little bit, I would say. So
Kind of like that, like, you know, when you wake up from an icky dream and you don't remember the dream, but you have the icky feeling all day.
yeah.
Kind of like that. Gross. Okay.
So
Sad.
sorry, you rolled
It's that,
worst.
it's that horrible dread.
Yeah.
And as you get up and you go about your business, you go about your day, there's a small black ears slightly shaking and slightly, like, you know, peeking out from under your bed, like looking kind of like up and around and very cautious, and the figure itself is kind of like trembling a little bit, and the camera like shifts to a different focus, which is kind of grey out, kind of like almost black and white, but more toned down grey, just kind of filter, like when William brings his eye out, and we see small flecks of black in this grey kind of like mist around her bed, around her room. So.
Okay.
Sounds bad.
It's daytime, y'all. Time for school.
Yeah, school.
First question. As everyone gets up, has their daily routine, and you head to school, is anyone interacting with each other before
I am looking for William before school starts.
Okay.
Which shouldn't be hard because I usually hand out homework.
And also Tori is usually there early.
Yes.
So.
Okay. So in that case, William, as you're walking into school, Tori, you see him, and
I'm just gonna follow him to his locker.
Okay.
You know, like keep an eye on him until I can get
Oh my
get to
God.
where he's at.
Stalky Tory.
Yeah. You know, casually making conversation with whomever like next to me at the time.
Yeah.
There's
Oh,
probably
yeah.
yeah. Oh, nice. Good morning. Make it to William by his locker and go like, just a second, and like turn my attention to William.
Yeah.
You know.
And it's normal enough a little bit because you do talk to him sometimes.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
This is my cover right here. I'm like, hey, William.
Hey, Victoria.
Look, I made a mistake when I was taking you home, and I'm hoping I can fix
When
it.
you say I made a mistake, like if there's a gap in that sentence, he just say, "Oh, which question?" And it's like referring to the homework.
No, not with the homework though. Look, we'll talk about that later. But I may have accidentally changed your behavior accidentally.
And then he puts his stuff down and goes with the
with the like trying not to say the thing.
Yeah. You both know what you're referring to.
And she says, if you'll let me, I am hoping to maybe like fix it, so you're not.
What was the thing you did?
I made you wary of George.
Okay. I don't feel any different.
But you're not going to the skate park, clinging on to George at lunchtime anymore, and
I went home after school. I had homework.
okay, but what I'm saying is like you're not acting like you were, and do you want me to try and fix it or not?
Okay. Just yes, get it over with, I suppose.
Okay. And Tori's like, oh shit, I don't know what I'm gonna say here to
Disregard previous statements.
Fix this. And she takes a moment, and then she looks around as if like she's a little bit worried that like other people might notice. But she leans in and like almost whispers in your ear. You know what I mean? Because you gotta keep it quiet. You know, like.
Yeah.
And she says, you don't need to be wary of George anymore.
Do I smell salt?
And tries to invoke her power to prevent her previous mistake.
Yeah. As you do, your eyes, your eye, the kind of sea salt.
The process happens, yes.
And the eyes, and you actually see a small kind of like outline of William's body, and also like this kind of small little like. The best way to describe it would almost be like a small little like slightly green emerald like gemstone like embedded in his body. And as you say that, it like cracks and then it kind of like dissipates.
Oh, it's kind of like a metaphorical representation of the power. Gotcha.
And
That is unusual, obviously. Tori's like, oh, that's new.
yeah, it kind of it flashes for a couple of seconds with your words, and you feel your words essentially like batter against it and dissolve it. What you've essentially done and what you essentially realize is that when you're in this power, you can like kind of lay gemstones in people, like lay directives in them, and also remove them.
Gotcha. Well, it worked,
Dope.
so she just seems like, pleased by it and sort of like steps back a little.
William has no memory of the words. I will say now, William, you're not under the directive to be wary at all of George.
Cool.
You don't really notice a difference, but yeah.
Yeah.
And-
Will
and-
just goes, is that it?
It worked, I think. But here, hand me, I don't know, something. So that
He's already reached into the locker and pulled out like the extra sheet.
Yeah.
yeah, and
There you
she takes it as like cover for this conversation of like go back to her clique with the homework.
Thanks,
you know?
nerds.
Yeah. Later, loser.
Okay.
Oh, dare you.
So, is there anyone else who wants to engage with each other or talk or chat or anything? I will say, for the sake of, you know, like maintaining, I don't think it's worth having a moment with it. There is a kind of awkward Cecilia, Rodney meeting at school in the hallway type thing where they smile and they're
Okay, but here's the question, Sheepy. How quickly does the gossip about Rodney being like, you want to maybe do something, get back to the rest of us, right?
So far, it doesn't.
Oh.
Because it was at the hospital and no one
yeah.
no one from school was there. And when they meet each other, they are just as awkward or normal with each other as they always are.
Likely story.
And they don't mention anything unless Cecilia wants to. Rodney mentions nothing in that moment when it's kind of like a almost bump into each other. Oh, sorry, you know, and then like going on, and there's like a little.
I was just gonna make it an excuse to bully Cecilia mostly.
I'm
so.
sure we'll get that.
I'm sure that'll happen in this episode. No, but definitely that's the that's how far the interaction goes.
Yeah.
A little awkward, like, oh, hi.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Is it happy awkward though? Like, does Cecilia walk away from the awkward like butterflies?
I think she when
would say
they
it's
bump
happy
into each
awkward,
other, like her
Okay.
heart starts racing, and she just like she does a little like wave, like, hi, and then like speed walks.
Speed walk.
I won't put the music on for that moment. Don't worry.
I don't think Cecilia will
Yeah.
interact because, like, as long as she can act like nothing's happening and not talk to anyone about it, I think at this point that's what she's gonna do. Eventually it'll happen.
It's so
but-
funny to see the like Cecilia denial versus
Yeah.
the like
The George
like-
paranoia and the Tori like embracing.
Tori's just like, I have magic powers. I need to figure out how they work, and everybody else is like, holy shit.
I'm a fucking wizard, mate. Wizard.
I have a
wizard,
devil
wizard.
in my eye.
William's doing pretty good. William's managing.
The only additional thing I'll say, just again for the sake of, you know, the norm and everything, is when you come to school, Joel is there, you kind of lock into step and you hang and you chat, and it's all the usual stuff. Again, it's not worthy of a scene, but it's worth mentioning because, again, you know, as we go on, will probably pay less and less attention to the everyday, but this is their everyday. You know, they do these things.
Inane chatter with the gaggle of popular girls, so on. Yes.
Cecilia desperately trying to fit into other groups and
talking to teachers like a badass.
Yeah.
You know?
Hey, she's still waiting for the moment to see Ashford because like they haven't seen each other. So and she hasn't talked to you, so she just thinks like, oh, if I see him, I should mention that it's done.
Yeah. Speaking of,
Are you getting your glasses?
Oh, he's getting his
Sheepy?
glasses.
Oh,
So-
shit,
Also, I like the little
son.
hair bun, by the way.
oh, thank you. Speaking
Thank
of, got two show off.
Thank you. Oh wait, no, it's here.
We like big buns. I'm done.
You're about 5 to 7 years too early on that one, I think. Or late.
Oh, yeah,
depending.
Sheepy,
Yeah.
thank you, damn it, man. She will ask about his
Oh,
leg though.
yeah,
I
and
totally forgot
he-
about that.
He
But
doesn't
Oh,
have.
she totally would, wouldn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't.
Oh.
thank you.
He doesn't have a cast, but he is on a crutch, you know, and he's kind of like limping a little bit, and it's fine. It's just a sprain, but he just has to stay off it for a few days and let it, you know, essentially get better. So, and again,
All right.
yeah, it'd be as awkward as it was before, pretty much, just with a little addendum there. You have your classes, some of which are together, some of which are not. I imagine in the instances you have classes together, there may be some kind of vague recognition, but no talking between each other. You do, however, have a lesson with Mr. Knight, which is weird and awkward for some of you, I would imagine. You also have a lesson with Mr. Ashford today. And the lessons aren't anything that need to be highlighted. However, at the end of the class with Mr. Ashford, he says, alright, that's it for today. And he looks down at his sheets. He says, like he's reading off it, he says, Victoria Whitlock, Georgette Cade, Cecilia Grayson, William Robinson, please come back to see me at the end of school to talk about homework. Thank you very much.
There's like an annoyed eye roll, and you know, like, why would I? These people. Ugh.
Wow, so in character. Cecilia like shrugs her shoulders like it's no big deal.
Yeah. Is George the least like professional and subtle about it, and she's like nervous instead of the usual George being like, teachers, man, they suck. She's more like, oh my god, I've got to tell him about the puka. Is he gonna kill puka?
Yeah, I think because of her terrible night of sleep and whatever the hell she was fogging.
She's been
She's
sleeping
probably
all
been-
class. Let's be
Yeah,
honest.
all day. She's probably been like passed out on Joel or something. But this is the one class like she is so alert because she's like is
So-
almost pretty sure he'll at least talk to her.
Yeah.
Like, and she can just like vomit out all this information and at least get something out of him, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think during this class, Will has sat down next to George again,
Yay!
Okay.
being
Cool.
less wary.
And like probably you've chatted a bit during the day.
Yeah. So things are back to pre-Tory.
So unless anyone Tori
Pre-Tory government.
wasn't gonna say it. So unless anyone has anything specific, I think we'll go to the end of the school.
Yeah, we
and-
can do the end.
So you kind of file back in.
Come back to Ashford's classroom. Yeah.
Ashford's there, and he's sitting at his desk, and come in, come and sit down.
Tori sits down in the
Yeah.
like, front row of seats, not in her usual place.
It would be awkward if you were to sit, like someone were to sit in the back. It's only the four of us.
It would be hilarious if you sat in your usual
Could you speak up,
seats
please?
and it's just like, God.
I mean, there is a thing generally with like some schools where it's like assigned
Yeah.
almost.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, not this one.
No,
so.
not this one.
I
I was
always sit in
actually
the
gonna
front
say
because I
George
can't
like
hear
does
anything.
the awkward stroll to her seat in the back corner, but like stands and looks at it and turns around and realizes, that. Ah, fuck.
I think Cecilia watches every step of that, not getting it. Like she's just like,
Why would she ever go to the back? She has all this free space in the front.
Look at all this free real estate.
Yeah, and I probably wouldn't even still sit in the front row. I'd probably sit behind someone in the second row, just to give a buffer between.
Okay, but
because
who are
I'm
you?
excited that
Okay,
she
but
is-
who are you sitting behind though?
So who's in the front?
Well,
Is anyone in the front?
Be
I am.
William and the other three, I guess. yeah.
all of the other three.
There's like 5 chairs at the front.
I mean,
and
just-
then it goes back.
Behind them, I wouldn't even. Probably the one closest to the
Fair enough.
door to escape.
Okay.
Spelled like escape. Probably Will or Tori,
Yeah.
Yeah.
depending on how the day went.
Okay.
Probably
I mean,
Will because
you
I
and
still
Will are
want to
buds
talk
now.
to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm afraid like I wouldn't want to speak over Tori.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
And once you've all like sat down and settled in,
When she could just turn around and snap her fingers and
Yeah.
mind crush you at any moment.
silence.
Ashford stands up and puts his hands on the desk and says, "I heard from Tori what happened. Good job, everyone. Although I understand some of you did less than others, which is fine. So I thought we could have another meeting. I do have another job for you, but before we get to that, and he like sits back in his chair and says, the floor is open if anyone would like to ask any questions, bring up anything. I'm afraid you don't get dental, so there's that. That was a joke."
When he says you don't get dental, Will goes.
Tori speaks up if nobody else does, and says, "Look, you clearly know a whole lot about us and about what we can and can't do, and some of us are having trouble with that. So maybe let's just be clear about what we're supposed to be learning.
Right. What do you
You
want to
know, like tell us, a bit, like what we need to look out for, what we can do."
Right. Yes, George.
The puka lives under my bed.
Congratulations. As long as you feed it, your house will be reasonably clean.
So that's it.
What were you expecting?
I don't know. I didn't know I was gonna bring it home. It speaks. Its personality. It named itself.
Hmm.
It's like a little person under my bed.
Did it name itself, or did you ask it for a name?
I mean, I guess I asked it for a name that seemed polite.
You'll find that these entities can communicate a lot of the time, have wants and needs and desires. Very often it's like interacting with a regular person, except for not quite so evil.
Huh. Okay.
You said entities, like it's different than us?
To a degree. There are different types of beings, and entities, supernatural phenomenon. Some have a consciousness, some do not. Some are very intelligent, some are devious, some are what you might consider evil, some are not, some are nice. It all depends on what it is.
Okay, well, back to my previous question.
Yeah.
You had the Gravekeeper slap the heck out of William. So what's the deal with the eye thing?
Well, I didn't request to slap William.
Well, that's what happened.
I imagined it may have. So, you want to talk about the Devil's Eye?
Oh, the what?
To start with, yeah.
Right. Possessive type entity. You could say infects the hosts, although it doesn't really. It's not a disease. But the person possessing the Devil's Eye has the ability to sense, see supernatural residue and areas of high supernatural activity. Think of it kind of like ectoplasm, except for only he can see it.
And that's it? Nothing else? No
That's it for now.
demon powers or that's okay.
How does he get it out?
Will kind of raises his hand because it's still a classroom.
Yeah.
1 second, William. And he looks at George and says, exorcism is a good way, although the host generally dies in the process.
Oh yeah, let's not do that.
You can dig it out with enough force, but
Of his face?
I want to lose my eye.
removing the eye would slow down the process for a while.
Ah.
All right, never mind the removing part.
I think I'm gonna throw up.
William, yes.
William takes his hand down and goes like, oh, never mind.
All right.
Tori looks at William and Cecilia being like, "Oh, I'm gonna throw up. I'm gonna blah blah blah." And George being like a little like, is George also like mortified? What's
I think
happening?
I'm leaning around looking at Will's face,
Yeah.
where the eye normally is, like imagining having to dig it out of his.
I think Tori's like a little bit
Who's got a spoon?
like this shit is going to be shocking. Just like all of it every time we learn something.
Yeah.
You need stronger stomachs. It's gonna get worse.
You get
But we have to
used
know
it.
everything we can know.
Technically, I have a very strong stomach, I think.
Yeah.
See, George is already making jokes. Great.
Okay, how are you so fine with this? Like, is it just because whatever you have is like super useful for you? You think it's awesome that you're totally cool with all of this. Some of us like are mortified of what is inside of them, or with them, or
What
whatever.
is inside of you? With you? Whatever.
That's a great question.
You're
It's
the only
also a
one
great
that we're
question
kind of
that
don't know
you don't
about
get
at
to-
all.
Question whether or not we deal with this, or how we deal with this.
I bet we could deal with it better if we knew how magically special you are.
Well, and also we're all on the same team here. I'm just trying to get us on the same page, right? She's using like a voice that if you've ever heard her captain anything, it's this voice.
Yeah, one of those.
I like the idea that, that Tori might be considering just going, tell me.
She absolutely is. She
Yeah.
absolutely is considering it,
Yeah.
but she's also balancing it against her own morals.
Yeah.
If we're in the same team, then currently I think there's no leader. So you don't get to tell me or William how to act with it.
as a sidebar,
All right.
I think there is a leader. I think it's a teacher.
as a sidebar, Mr. Ashford has like folded his arms and he's leaning back, like waiting.
So, and Tori actually jumps on this and says, "So, is there no leader?" She says, looking towards George and William, like, "Do we need to solve this like right now? Is this something that has to
Everyone
happen?"
gets one vote.
She looks at us. Oh, she'd hood up and be like, "Oh, bitch."
And Cecilia also like slightly lowers down in her chair again, as if like that was the peak of her outburst.
Oh.
Will is looking into the desk, feeling his face.
I don't know.
He just heard that.
And, like,
you
looking
can
at
get
all
rid
of
of it
you,
by dying, and
look,
it's like,
looking at all three of you being like, "Oh fuck," or like looking away or slumping. Tori's like, "I don't know. Looks like someone should take charge of this to me. And if you're not gonna do it, and you're not gonna do it, and you're not gonna do it, then
What
I
makes
guess
you
it's
so
me."
qualified? We've all been dealing with this shit for like a day, 2 days. What makes you so qualified to
No,
lead
you
this
haven't
group?
been dealing with this shit. You've been freaking out about this shit. I've been.
Yeah, so
dealing
what?
with
I
this
don't
shit.
have cool, manipulative powers that aid me so much in my social life, now do they? I fucking rip something apart, or I don't know. Well, I'm sorry that I'm not dealing with this how you want me to.
Every
How
time I
about we
open my
switch
mouth,
roles?
every time I open my mouth, Cecilia, I am considering whether or not what I say might destroy someone's whole personality. It's not so enjoyable, but it does require a little bit more tact. I don't know what you do, and that kind of freaks me out a little bit, right? So maybe if we could figure that out, we could help you deal with it. But you not telling us means that we will never know and never be able to help you. And your upsetness is starting to get on my nerves.
And at that, Mr. Ashford puts his hands on the desk, stands up, and says, "All right, it's a wonderful counseling session. Can we get back to it, please?"
Cecilia stops her stops what she was gonna say and then just like
Tori's also happy to let it drop.
looks
Like-
at Ashford.
It's nice to see everyone is getting along so well. And in regards to who's in charge, if anyone would like a go, I am here. Please feel free. No?
Well, I mean, you're not with us when we have to deal with this stuff, generally.
No. And it's good to have at least one person who is confident in what they're doing. Seems like currently Tori's the only person willing to deal with reality right now. If I was you, I'd follow her lead. But that's just me. It's none of my business. As long as you do the job, it's all good.
So floor's still open?
If you'd like to come at me, yeah, feel free.
No, I meant for questions.
Oh.
You're coming at you. I've already tried, and it didn't work the first time, so I'm not gonna bother.
Yeah, if everyone is done having a little teenage spat, then sure, yeah, questions open, go for it.
I looked at Cecilia like, the question should be obvious. Maybe you should ask it rather than me asking it. You know, like there's this moment of like expectation.
Does she say anything, or is
No.
it just looking?
She just looks to you like,
Cecilia looks at her and just like,
all right. Nope, nothing else, I guess.
Alright. And he like looks, you know, head moves, glasses, regard George, William, Cecilia for a second, giving you a chance to say anything. Next job. We have something going on in the church. And he says the area of, the poorer area of town, like basically gives the location. It's the church near your house-ish, George.
Oh, the one that, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
you'll all know where it is. Smallish town.
Yeah.
Not really sure what's going on there, but one of my agents pointed out that there's something strange. So, investigative work, figure out what's there. If you can deal with it, deal with it. If you can't, come back to me and I'll deal with it.
At
Do you
the
want us to
church?
just ask around?
No. My agent should be there if you want to ask them any questions.
Who's
Feel free.
your agent?
Bit of a watchman, night watchman of the church.
Ah, okay.
Should be posted up outside.
William's not gonna burst into flames or anything going into a church, are they?
No.
Will just looks up and goes, like, oh no shit, another thing I have to be
boy.
worried about. I can't go to mass.
Tori's just drawing on this like really out of general known character of her like knowledge of mythology. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
shit.
The devil's eye is descriptive, it is not religious. So there is no concern as to the actual devil in this case.
Is the devil real?
You tell me.
Bro, it's you now. She kind of smacks him in the back. Duh. Stupid questions.
Consider yourself partially possessed in a localized area by a demonic entity. That's the closest I could describe it, although it's not exactly right. It's not the devil, but scales, flames.
will.
George.
I have one. I mean, so this is just, I didn't ever think, it's the weirdest sentence. I was talking to the puka.
Yeah.
I don't. And it was a circular conversation, didn't go many places, but then out of nowhere, the puka warned me of the mines. Is there a reason? I don't necessarily hang out there regularly. Is there like a lot more danger around that we should probably know about?
There's a lot more danger around. Much more than the puka. I hadn't heard anything about the mines, though. If it is dangerous, I'll go and investigate that one myself.
Something about there's the us, and then there was milk and bread. It's such a weird. Can't. Still not sure I was awake for this, but there's the puka said he can see when things are like him or like us, and there's something like him that is bad by the mines. And I'm just wondering, like, are we gonna be stomping around, the church and find something like that? Because I've been at the church at nighttime a lot and never seen anyone in it.
Maybe.
Now suddenly there's a caretaker.
It's unlikely that you'll run into anything too dangerous. If you do, withdraw, come to see me and I'll deal with it.
Withdraw?
This is investigative. You are there to see what is going on at the church, what it is that my agent suggests should be dealt with.
Oh, okay.
I haven't had the time or the chance to get down there myself yet, especially seeing as you're going to have to wait till probably around midnight
To go to the church?
to go to the church.
We're gonna have to go out at midnight.
You are.
All right.
Why at midnight? Why not earlier, like 9?
Well,
Because it's midnight mass, duh.
if you go there at 9, whatever it is that is there will not be there. My agent will not be able to talk to you, and, well, people will be around still at 9. I would imagine you don't really want to draw any attention to yourselves.
But wouldn't it be easier to blend in?
Yeah, you can go there and blend in and wait till midnight if you like. That's fine.
I'm serious, guys. I go there at night all the time. It's not a big deal. It's lit up.
It's not the lit up part that's a problem.
What's the problem?
You don't have to be home before midnight.
What? Who would make me be home? Wait, rules? No, parents. Yeah. Curfew.
Oh.
I have one of those. Yeah. You're right. She's right.
Get away as best you can. Try not to get caught by your parents or anything like that. And then come back and either deal with it. Preferable, if you can figure out what it is, figure out a way to deal with it, do that. Brilliant. If it is able to be convinced it to move on, move away. Brilliant. Try not to destroy it or exercise it if you can. Trap it. That works
We
too.
don't know any exorcisms, I don't think, so I don't think that's going to be much of a problem.
Brilliant.
I say looking to William like he might know an exorcism. I don't know.
It depends what
Just
the
shakes his
entity is as to how you can deal with it. To use an example, with the cafeteria lady, salt, garlic spread on the torso. When they fuse back together, it destroys them. Unfortunately, it was the only choice left, but it was necessary.
Poor Miss Peaches.
Not really.
No, you're right. Bitch wanted to eat me. Sorry.
So, there's the job. Any questions?
How many of these jobs are we going to have to do?
This one's a bit more difficult. It'll knock off a lot more of the debt, let's call it.
Right.
Sick.
So you don't have like any extra information. Like you don't know what's there, but we have to talk with it, not exercise it.
Oh,
Not...
now you're hungry for information. Oh, okay.
I'm sorry. I want us to actually succeed in this.
Let's focus instead of having another argument. You can wait until I'm gone for that, thank you.
So again, you have like no extra information on what this could be, what we're potentially walking into. You're just saying try to deal with it, and if you can't, run away.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't have many concerns for you, seeing as you have already dealt with something much, much more dangerous than what would be in a church.
And you don't have any
Well,
concerns for...
With a few very outside exceptions, but it's very unlikely it would be those things.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how very unlikely?
10 being likely, 1 being
Yes.
0.5.
All right. That's good.
So 20%.
I'm not going to throw you in at the deep end unless anyone wants to come with me to the mine and see what's there. Oh, okay. Church it
George.
is.
George doesn't know if she just has to say yes. She's terrified of this guy.
Yeah.
She's like, was that like a fake invitation? Like one of those ones where they're not expecting yes or no, it's just expected?
Well, all right. We know what we have
Oh.
to do.
I'll add this as well, for one of you in particular. William. Careful where and how much you use your eye. You never know what you're gonna see.
Okay.
So look for clues, but don't use the person who looks for clues the best. All right.
No, in this instance, it should be perfectly fine to use your eye at the church.
So when do I know when I can use it? Is it arbitrary? Is it?
William,
Punch card.
Yeah, exactly. You had 2 uses today. I have to wait till Thursday for the next one.
you strike me as someone excessively curious and paranoid.
My face is possessed. Yeah.
Both of those situations lead to you probably having considered using that eye to see what I look like.
Not until now.
My advice would be to not.
Yeah. No, he just goes, nope.
Alright. Have a good afternoon, everyone. You have a few days if you don't want to do it immediately, but my advice would be, why not get it done? I have to go and have a job interview. Apparently they're looking for a new counselor. So, I'll see you later. Have a good day.
Have fun.
Thank you.
Thank you. And he nods and walks out.
William stands up after like a few seconds and then just kind of mopes out the door. Just
Wait,
completely,
William.
completely deflated.
Wait a second, please.
Cecilia was thinking, I cannot believe this guy is gonna try to go for counseling.
So
Tori would be a great counselor. You no longer have any problems. I'm
Yeah.
fine.
Oh my God.
your anxiety is cured.
Yeah, exactly.
Holy
Best
shit. You can
shrink
make a
of the year.
religion.
That's what makes her so terrifying. I think Tori like tries to, once Ashford's gone but everybody else is here. She says, "So midnight tonight or midnight when?"
I vote tonight.
We
Get it
might as
over
well
with.
get it over with tonight.
What
Alright,
day is
fine.
it today? Is it Tuesday or what was it?
Yeah, Tuesday.
Yeah, because Tori's
Tonight
on
works.
Thursday.
I do have a date on Thursday, yes. But midnight is probably later than the date will go, so I don't think it'll affect it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should just do it tonight, get it over with. I don't like thinking that Ashford's just waiting for us to do something for him.
Yeah, that's a good point. The less he peers over our shoulder, the better.
Yeah. Did he really say what he looks like?
I think he means what he really looks like.
Did you see it?
No. No way.
Are you gonna?
Did you just hear him say, don't do that?
He didn't say don't. He said you shouldn't.
Yeah. I'm gonna take that and not do it.
Interesting.
You're boring.
All right, well, if I'm
Okay.
going to sneak out at midnight, then I need to get going. So I'll see
y'all-
you at the church.
You guys know how to get there, right?
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
a church.
So, I would say, as everyone seems to be going and, you know, everything, everyone is aware of how to sneak out of their own houses, aside from possibly William, but I
Yeah,
think
I was
he
gonna
can-
say, I have no idea.
The thing
Would
is,
he even need to?
well, yeah,
'Cause
that's what I'm
don't look
saying.
for
The
it?
thing
Oh,
is,
yeah.
is his parents won't be looking for it, so he's probably got the easiest time at the same. I won't require a sneak or anything like that for you this time. My question is would you like to go a couple extra minutes and get to the church, or shall we end things here for today?
I have to run pretty like right soon after
Yeah,
we're
I
done,
have-
so
I
the
have-
less
I
we...
think it's a
Let's,
nice point
we can
to
end it here.
Okay, in that case, feel free to basically, you know, finish things off and. Yes.
But no one
On our way
cried.
out, I just wanted to like, catch up to Will if he was like moping away from me or something, and like kind of, bump into him and be like, you better not have like X-ray vision with that shit, perv. Keep your eye to yourself.
I think Will might actually like a little.
Oh no, I planted the seed.
You better not have this thing that
Poor
you don't know if you
Will.
have.
Yeah.
Will's just like,
I can see auras, sexy auras.
Can I take it that aside from George and William, everyone kind of like, without too much interaction or anything, like kind of go their own way and like play out the rest of their days essentially. Okay. In that case,
I haven't got the budget for that, Katie.
actually, you know what? In that case, the sun. Let's
Actually, you know what? Katie's butthole cringes.
The sun sets on Quail Town, and as the camera kind of fades away and moves back away from Quail Town, the filter switches on the camera again to a more kind of grey, and we see, as the night closes in, areas of Quail Town just start ashing up in the sense of more blackness, like this kind of like black smoky, like we saw in the library, like we saw in George's room, just start to rise up into the air. Certain spots, certain areas around Quail Town.
Is it like what was coming out of the librarian?
And we fade
All
away.
the people smoking are the ones who haven't returned their books on time. It's late charges, and it makes you smoke.
And we
You burst into flames.
Yeah.
and we fade away on Quail Town for another day.
What the
Yeah.
shit?
So,
That's fucking scary.
I
What's
realized
going on?
It was delightful to argue with you. I just want to put that on the table. I'm always happy to yell at you.
Dude, I liked
I,
getting sassy with y'all a little bit too. I just have to
Yeah,
say.
yeah.
so.
We're all good feelings, and I love all of you.
Yeah.
Seeing as we definitely have an elf who may need to go reasonably
I have to,
quickly.
yeah, I gotta dip.
I have to do too as well. Not an elf,
Let's do outros and then open things up for a very quick round, and then end. So, Cecilia, Syrinx, you can start us off today.
Hey. Hey, I'm Syrinx. You can find me as such as Jesus Christ. Alright. You
Sorry.
can find me on Twitter and Instagram under that name. Yes, that's it. I enjoyed this episode. There's something so fun and just like wholesome about playing high school romance stuff. Like, it's so innocent. I
Yeah.
love it. And I liked getting a little bossy there with my favorite elf. So much so that I got a message from the people next door, like the people in the other room, being like, "Hey, can you yell at your other players a bit more quietly?" So yeah, and I'm very much looking forward to next episode. I've been enjoying this very much. And I'll throw it over to Katie.
What? I had a lot of fun today too. It was I think it was a really good mix of like awkward teenage romance and action and terrifying mystery. I don't know about you guys, but when you were describing the smoke, like the ashy smoke, all I could picture was from the Silent Hill movie. You remember like that black speckly, it's like ashes kind of, but gravityless.
It's quite like that, you know.
Yeah, that's exactly. I mean, that's good. That's exactly the picture I had in my mind. But yeah, I have so many. Today was mysterious. It's just all questions. My entire first page of my new notebook is just questions.
I love it.
Poor Milka. All
Poor
scared.
Milka. And that was, I literally like the image of his ears fluttering, like he's scared of whatever the hell is smoking around my body, made me really sad. So I'm gonna have to have an emotional talk with him. But anyways, my name's Classic Katie, and I had a fucking pleasure being here today. Check me out at twitch.tv/Classic Katie, but more importantly, check out the Patreon here, because if that doesn't exist, we don't exist. And these shows are pretty dang. Wouldn't you agree? Thank you for hanging out today. I had a freaking blast. come back next Monday. And I'm about to over to LZT.
Ooh. Hi, I'm LZT. Or Lima Zulu
Mid-yawn.
Tango. I had a talk, for those of you wondering, I had a talk with Chippy, and it was like, hey, do you mind if Will doesn't do much today? I'm like, that's cool. I mean, I don't mind taking a backseat. I ended up doing more than I expected, actually. But yeah, no, I had fun. I also like that Will had a minor breakdown at the end, basically going, oh, this eye thing maybe not so cool. Maybe
Yeah,
it's
you'll
really
die,
fucking
actually.
dark.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you can get rid of it. Oh, how? You die. Oh, okay.
It's what
I
you
mean,
get for
that will get rid of it.
it's what you get for reading, kids. Reading's bad.
Yeah.
Just learn
Yeah.
that.
Oh no.
So yeah, you can find me at Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, everywhere at Lima Zulu Tango. And check out the Patreon, because if it doesn't go well, this doesn't go well. So yeah, thanks for everyone.
That was so
Thank you for-
ominous.
Thank you for everyone watching. And hot potato to Elf.
All right, I'm gonna speed run this. Here we go. Hey everyone, my name is Distracted Elf. You can find me on Twitter.com. Oh, sorry, no, I fucked it up.
Wow, that was really quick.
I took out my watch and everything.
Hey, okay, try it again. We'll go again. Okay, again.
Got it.
Hey everyone, it's Distracted Elf. You can find me on Twitter at Distracted Elf or on Twitch.tv/DistractedElf. I had a great time today, and Sheepy go.
Thank you for watching, everyone. Hope you enjoyed. There is the Patreon. There is the YouTube if you want to catch up on shows, if you want to see more shows. And there's Twitch, Twitter. There's Twitch. You're at Twitch. There's Twitter. There's Discord. Go check out all those things if you want to be notified. Everything like that. The QT is a massive amount of fun. We just finished Dragon Riders Season 2. Dragon Riders Season 3 is planned in the future. We are going to start very, very soon, recording for the new show, which is going to be an alien show, and it's going to be very interesting. In the, in respect
Also-
to people's, in respect to people's schedules and also needing to leave, I'm not going to do too much else. All I will say is thank you for watching very much, and as your resident DJ, this song goes out to very special people.
Also, you can't say that they're watching Twitch right now. They might be watching it on YouTube.
They might be. But if you're watching on Twitch, if you're watching on YouTube, links down below. You can check out all of the people
YouTube.
on there.
I got your back.
All of the people on their streams and etc. I suggest you do, and we are gonna go and head to the outro.
This song goes out to all of the lovebirds out there.
Hey,
Pull
hey,
them in
hey,
close
everyone
and
out
have a
there in the
snuggle.
radio land, this song goes out to those lovebirds who just can't get enough of each other. See you next week.
Ba, 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 ba.